100.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The tape never lies. Tape never lies.
Starts now.
The tape never lies.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
Watch the tape, and when you see the tape, you know the tape doesn't lie, and there's just the tape doesn't lie.
Nick Kwiatkowski got cut, but we signed his boy, Shayne.
Morrow. Well, I didn't know a whole bunch about. I mean, I knew who he was.
Neither did I.
But Phil, when I texted you last night, I was watching some of the stuff before you responded, and I'm like, dude, this motherfucker is violent.
That's the big word out of this. Violent, Shayne.
That's your middle linebacker right there, in my mind. I mean,
he can play the will.
He can play both, but this is what Eberflus is going to want. And I know there's a lot of people out there that wanted Anthony Walker Jr. because he was in Indy. He was
talk about this point because you talked to me about it.
He was directly connected to Eberflus, obviously in Indy, but it's no coincidence that Morrow took the deal, and then Walker Jr. had to pivot. He ended up in Cleveland with almost the identical deal. But so that it tells you that Eberflus obviously is telling Poles who he wants. He chose Morrow over top of the guy that he was directly connected to.
And
so there's a lot of upside with this guy. I think this is going to be one of those signings. Like, he's a better player than Nick Roach, but this is what I look back to. Remember when the Bears picked up Nick Roach?
Oh, yeah.
He came from San Diego, and it was San Diego back then. Not a lot of people knew who he was, but then he started to flash a little bit. This kid, if he can stay healthy, is going to surprise a lot of people. I'm telling you right now.
I'm excited because the violence of him is what you're talking about, but there's a speed aspect and a distance game.
You like watching Roquan Smith blitz? Watching this kid blitz is the same thing. Go back to the Bears game versus the Raiders in London. He picked off Chase Daniel. He was one of the guys that had the interception that game, and
this guy's also, to your point, was injured.
Yeah, last year. He didn't play last year.
So he's obviously coming in injured. He's a Division 2 or 3 player that worked his way up the ladder, and the Raiders fans have done a great job analyzing this kid's growth. And this is a Shayne and Phil story. It's like, I just want to give an analogy here. The Chicago Bears, as you know, on this channel, performance over politics. We preach that all the time. This is one of those guys that was a performer. We didn't get to number 3, and this clearly, to me, is your center signing. So this is where the Chicago Bears, Luke Getsy.
This question is about him.
Yeah.
Yes, Luke Getsy. Listen. This football player on tape, again, tomorrow we'll be breaking his tape down on the tapeneverlies.com. Become a patron. Me and Barlissimo, my father, will be looking at this center from the Green Bay Packers, who was a quote-unquote backup center. So many people have reached out to me to say what a great football player this kid is. And another story, Shayne, undrafted, worked his ass off to get into position, and it just goes to show you. I think we even have that bitch boy Aaron Rodgers quote saying, any backup center is probably your most important backup on the whole football team, because you need a center. And I got to give it to him. He's 100% right. Your center goes down. You don't have a backup center. You can barely function in your offensive philosophy. You will have to get very predictable, and you don't want to get predictable if you don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback, even if you do. So the center position, this kid, I'm telling you, if you want to see Bilal Nichols get dominated, you're going to want to see that. And he's worked on his speed And he's the knock on him out of Iowa State was that he wasn't as fast as you want. Talk about
the
David
first person
Montgomery.
always missed.
Exactly.
You look at PFF, look, if you think about all the guys that have been on PFF last couple of years, they're my dudes. How many tackles have they missed? First, dude, stupid numbers. I'm gonna draft a dude who got more missed tackles than anybody. Who's fucking fast. All right, because when I give David the ball, David, you better go make somebody miss. That's your primary job. Yeah. So they got to get that speed shit out of him.
John Wood from the Bears blog will throw his name out there, give him
own your shit.
Credit that he so richly deserves. He wrote an entire article on how David Montgomery actually hurts the Bears offense. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
What world are we in?
What are they seeing? I mean, I could pull a film with who's that left tackle you had? Like left tackle who was terrible. I mean, David should have been a tackle for a loss, but David had to make a dude miss because that dude didn't block.
Right.
I don't see the back. The backup, come on, he can't see David. He knows that too. You know what I mean? But like, dude, David has a lot of. It takes more than one person to bring him down. All right, his vision, cutting ability, and feel is unreal. He's a mismatch for linebackers. Let's not talk about his route running ability and catching the ball. I don't think he dropped any footballs. Why Nagy didn't use him out there? I don't know.
There's a lot of
unknowns. Talk about him right now. Yeah, man. That dude told me on FaceTime that David's going to get a load of carries this year.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Chicago's trading up.
100.
Yes! What? Oh my God.
The tape never lies.
Other people drop off, but we still keep rocking.
You'll never know how good your football team's going to be until you play with maximum effort. Keeping it 100.
Open competition over the North and never give it back.
Smartest man.
My Chicago Bears select Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State.
Guess who's back? The two that kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man in Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east to west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters. But now they're all stuck like the Jew and now and laters. Debaters, frauds get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks trolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Jimmy. What we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the unfair. The tape never lies. The truth, you see, we laugh, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a stat nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like trick sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man in Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we keeping it 100.
Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Justin Fields gets outside the pocket, puts that ball perfectly where only Mooney can get it. 1
Keeping it 100.
2 feet.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby.
Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Tape never lies.
Yeah, exactly. More about that.
Yeah, you threw me off with that shit, Mr. Phil.
Widely regarded, and I'm sure would.
What in the God's green earth are you doing to me? Holy shit. It's fucking Wednesday night. It is TTNL's Keeping It 100. Phil, you're fucking with me again. It's only 8:30 fucking 1 or 8:40, however long the goddamn intro was. But let's bring you two jack wagons on here. Phil and Shayne.
Yo.
Oh, man. I thought it was just the instrumental. It's just...
That's called a fumble, Jackal.
That is a fumble at the 6-yard line.
Or a bit. That's a bit of a stumble, as Gary Delabate would say. It's a bit of a stumble.
The iPad, Shayne.
What's up, boss? What's
Hey, boss. How's everybody doing?
I had it. The perfect Mr. Rogers. I thought.
Carey, you got to give me a.
You want to do it again?
Phil did. That was god awful. I was ready to hit the with the post.
Man.
I had a fucking comment lined up.
I'm like, who the fuck is talking, Shayne?
I'm like, where did I go?
Yeah, I was looking down too. I'm like, that ain't me.
Here we are.
Shayne was making sure it wasn't.
No Claudio and the fucking show.
Oh, here it is.
See what happens.
See, they tricked me. They updated it. Do you want to do it again?
I saw that little video in the corner, you jackass, and I was like, "Here's something."
That's your intro music, bro.
I was trying to bring a little.
Oh, he's not here yet, but
Lord fucking cars. But hey, it's Wednesday night. How you boys?
Wednesday night, motherfuckers!
Another fucking mega trade, and Ryan Poles is sliding in DM, signing fucking, somebody today. But hey, we're here. Let's get into it, man.
To take over the North and never give it back.
Yeah, take over the North and never give it back. Jackal, a Shy native, 72. Jackal, the Jack Wagon. Hey, it's just Jackal. He's the Jack Wagon, brother.
Hey, bro. What's going on, man?
Got rid of the whore. Everything's going good.
It's all going to work out, man. Everything's going to be just fine.
What's up, brothers?
Love you, bro.
Love you. Hey. Where's A-Rob right now? He ain't in fucking Chicago. Josh.
He's on that Cali weed, enjoying life right now. Fucking overpaid.
Is it legal in Cali?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. I think they were first, right? Yeah. What's up, everybody? Where's Matt? Where's Mike and the Matt? What's up, everybody? How are you today? It's Mike and the Mad Dog. Oh, my God. I just had a flashback.
He's coming. Is Francesa? Is he coming back? Did I hear that? Is that true, Shayne?
I wish I could do the Mike Francesa like mumble talking.
Oh,
next, he would just hang up on you and shit.
Do you know that Francesa is Dustin Reagan Padilla's uncle?
Is it?
Yeah, true story. I'm not kidding.
I'm serious.
Okay. Yeah,
Uncle Francesa.
Yeah, but Dustin gets
no money.
No money. But if you pick on his uncle, he gets violent about
Does
it.
he?
Oh yeah, he loves himself some Uncle Mikey.
I remember when our guy Dustin Reagan Padilla graced our video. I wasn't expecting him to have a red beard.
Red beard, yeah.
He looked like a reversed Andy Dalton.
Yeah. Probably just as skilled.
Does Jackal look like he's just looking in the mirror, enjoying himself?
He does. Hey, it's like, Don, look at me. I'm on air right now.
No.
Look at me.
I'm trying to push the clouds out of the way. Like I'm just floating here, just kind of enjoying, as we get into it. There's plenty to talk about.
Big trades going on. The NFL, man. I make
that trade all fucking day if I'm Kansas City.
Oh my God. I was going to say, I thought I was going to scold you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you were gonna make the trade if you were the Dolphins?
Back-to-back first-round picks.
That's a fucking hefty price tag for a wide receiver. Granted, the dude is a game breaker.
Whoa! Are you guys seeing this?
What?
Breaking news. The Tape Never Lies Network. Breaking news.
So let's get the auction underway. On the first cow here, who's got 55? 55, 5, 55, sold your way, 65 and a half, 21. Andy Rock, 21. Rockstar, 21.
Oh, this is Claudio the Barber. Yo, this is Claudio the Barber. Yo, this is...
Yo, no, Claudio.
You guys are gonna love this one.
Claudio is currently at the auction.
Is there any Phil takes his boys to get haircuts. Now Claude doesn't show up for the show and is at a fucking auction.
Yeah.
Phil, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late, right? Then he's like, no, I'm not going to make it. The auction is running late. Guys auctioning off skeletons, ancient Egyptian artifacts. Have you watched his Facebook page? Jesus.
Looks just like this.
So let's get the auction underway. On the first cow here, who's got 55? 55.
Unbelievable. Claudio, the auctioneer.
I was in Chicago with him when we were there. We went to Funk's barbershop, and this dude was telling every piece of antique furniture. He was like, dude, that's a 1927 Clydesdale from the hair is made in France. And I'm like,
couldn't you pull the bullshit card with that? I mean, to somebody that has no idea what the fucking
I was one of those people.
Yeah, I mean, he could have told you that fucking Flugel binders from 1934. Oh man, that's fucking big money right there.
Brett
like,
Maley.
holy fuck, really? Yeah.
Look cool though.
Brett Maley. First class for Nicola, the auctioneer.
Oh man,
Jesus! I wonder why he flies first class. Sheri. He
buys toilets.
He goes into somebody's tag sale garage. He buys those. He bought keys to a locker.
Dude, find me
just
Nicky
taking
Mantle.
a chance. This guy, he's all about it. It's almost like Ryan Pace.
There's hope, Phil. There's hope.
We hope there's hope.
Yeah.
How about fucking Mike Glennon still has life? How?
Yeah.
How does Mike Glennon keep getting jobs?
I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean,
who is more luckier than Mike Glennon?
Not Mike Press. Oh!
Oh my God. I was going to say, never mind.
Yeah.
Chris Caporelli from France, Shayne.
I mean, Glennon gets a gig, but fucking Kaepernick, I mean, despite all his bullshit.
Oh, that's true.
You know,
Jackle.
for fucking years. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying now, but like, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, Christ. You could throw left-handed better than Glennon.
Can we pull that picture of Mike Glennon signing that deal? He looks like he's Doug from fucking that cartoon.
Yeah. But Chase Daniels, though, he's a consummate professional, no? I mean, he's a dude that's just a career
He's
backup.
another guy that's just, he's been smacked by the lucky ghost. I have no idea how these guys keep getting.
He's going to be a coach, I think.
Yeah. He's somebody that you can trust to go in there and play a game. So that's what Glennon, though, is like. He's the pirate that fucking stole the treasure and it fucking sunk in the worst part of the ocean. That's what Mike Glennon is.
Back, Sheri.
Do you remember that day, Phil, when it came out? And I mean, I forget who talked about it first. It might have been like Adam Johns or Adam Hogue or one of those guys said, I heard at the combine the Bears have legit interest in Mike Glennon. I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Oh my
There's
God.
no way. And then
I remember my reaction. Angelo imitates me.
What?
What?
Maron.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh my God. Then
never understood it.
Tony Soprano asked fucking Ryan Pace.
Must have been at the top of your fucking class.
Just wasn't in the fucking GM school. I'll tell you that. But we got a great show tonight. You know, I'm looking forward to Kevin Fishbain's virgin entry into TTNL.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked to him on the old network, but it was via audio only, Shayne.
Yeah. Because that's what made sense at the time, right, Phil?
The AO days.
Nobody wants to see you guys.
I think people that have ridden with us since AO days, like this lady right here, should deserve something from us, Shayne. That kind of loyalty. We gave Sheri a job on the network. She might want to give it back.
Do you want to go to an auction with Claudio?
You got to pay, though.
Sheri, can you do the auctioneer voice at all?
I cannot.
You want to try it?
Wonderful.
No, because it will. Whatever I say will not make sense.
Newest invention here is called the Cobb Quickie.
Just wrong.
Do I hear it once? Do I hear?
There's hope, guys.
That's all you get out of me.
There is hope. Sheri, you're here tonight. You're preparing for the read. It's a great time to be alive. I always think of that song. It's a great
until you get to Twitter and
see
everybody fucking melting down and
oh my God, this Dakota Dozier is just a guy that's going to compete.
He's a camp body to give you some fucking depth. He's nothing more than that. It's fine.
You find a guy that has a good attitude, some traits.
Yeah.
And he's a professional. I'm not taking shots at Dakota, but that's not your starting right guard right there.
No.
But he did start 16 games in 20
right, out of necessity. That Minnesota Viking team looked like freaking a MASH unit. That's why.
At least he's got some reps out there. You know what I mean? It's
good
to see.
He's got more reps than fucking Dieter Eisland, who deserves more.
Yeah.
So everyone's story is written.
Give me some fucking names.
Yes. I'm giving you names, bro.
Trying to.
We're going to see what these guys do. Some people like the bulldozer. Apparently the bald professor down there.
That's
Tape
where
Never Lies fantasy football champion.
Fucking ring bearer.
We haven't shown one showcase of the fucking trophy. Jack.
He's got the trophy and the ring at the house.
He does.
We have pictures of a ring and a trophy. We haven't even shared it with our viewers.
Send the one he sent with the ring. He put it in.
Why? Because his hairy knuckle is showing.
Oh, hairy.
No,
he can put fucking dreads. He's got no hair on his head, but it's all over his fucking piggies.
He can donate his hair like Bear.
It was the meat finger. It wasn't.
Knuckle.
It wasn't. Any of the hand digits.
Why can't we share the trophy picture?
He sent it to me. I'll put it up. I'll get him up. But
thanks for doing something.
Ryan is very.
If you want to be
private
in the
when
fantasy,
it comes to his knuckles.
Next year.
Yeah.
If you want to be in the fantasy football league next year,
maybe give me a heads up.
Become a patron. It's patron only, and it is big money.
We'd have to.
Can we show the trophy? Come on, Jackal. Work on that. Put Jackal in the background so he can work on that.
I can give you a little sneaky peek of what the ring almost looks like.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have one from Trophy Smack. They come.
Hey guys,
dope little.
There it is. It's almost like a Super Bowl ring.
That's ours. Same exact company, Shayne.
Yeah, it's exactly like
What's
a
up,
Super
guys?
Bowl ring. It's huge, man.
Got my ring. My wife threw it at me.
Yeah. I don't live home no more. Sold the house.
Alfred Smith wants in. You got to be a.
All right.
I think Alfred.
Me too, Alfred. They
sure you're in. All right.
Listen. We're also looking for a fantasy partner for our fantasy football show. Blake Bortles has put his application in. To be the partner of Mr. DDS. Don't do shit. Here he is.
Motherfuckers.
We're going to have you a partner, sir.
By
the time this year starts up. But
at least you showed up tonight, Jackal.
He does.
So let's get the auction underway. On the first cow here, who's got 55? 55, 55.
I'm just a fan. I'm not a football evaluator.
Do you think George McCaskey plays fantasy football?
Of course.
I could see him doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not fucking
What else he got to do?
He's
not looking for top executives to take over.
Well, it's going to be George McCaskey in a fantasy league. That would be great. George McCaskey in a fantasy league.
We'll have rank in our league this year.
Well, we'll see.
We'll put an invite out there.
Ted Phillips, odds of him playing fantasy football.
No.
0. Yeah. Yes. We don't have the 0.0 drop anymore.
0.0.
I agree with you. the Rivers app, whatever that sounds like a gambling app.
The
like
Bet
the
Rivers, yeah.
Rivers Casino, right? You know, George has Tom Brady envy. I guarantee. I guarantee.
There's a few people that do.
Anyway,
so I think it's
Chicago
important.
Bears.
Yeah, before Fishbain gets here in a little bit,
he's coming on at 9:30 East.
For all you mouth-breathing idiots out there, that's 8:30 Central.
In the region,
yeah,
it's 8:30. Anywhere else, it's.
I talked to the region last night.
Did you?
Fucking dudes.
I heard
he's
been
flying out
Purdue
Friday,
basketball.
and he's literally covering Purdue basketball from the fucking media.
Look at this guy.
He's got credentials.
Shout
for the
out.
Sweet 16 on Friday in Philly.
Good for him. Is he going to be on camera?
Comes.
Huh?
Is he going to be on camera?
They're trying to get the wide. They're trying to get the wide angles in there for the Sweet 16.
Well, they're going to need it. So.
Greg,
You really want to see him on camera though?
Jackle.
I love Greg.
No, he's not watching. I talked to him for about 20 minutes last night while I was waiting for my son to finish up basketball, and he is currently involved in the Twitter brackets, all that craziness that's going down. And he's up against Adam Johns right now, head to head.
Oh, someone's doing that dumb shit again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I posted the video of Greg's pimple. I said maybe this will shift the vote.
Did it help him?
Everybody's saying that he's got an STD or he's, whatever.
It was fucking awesome.
So I looked out and I had a missed call and a voicemail. He's like, "You stop that right now. I'm so sick of your attitude towards me."
Right, nobody likes brags.
That's right.
Nobody likes brags. David Kaplan.
Then let me do what I hired to do.
Greg will be there.
User, what's up?
What's up, Facebook?
StreamYard.com/Facebook. Make it happen, Facebook user.
Make it happen.
Fuck yourself.
Hey, be nice.
Come on, Jackle.
Be nice, Jackle.
Dude.
What are you blaming Sheri? He's blaming Sheri.
I'm typing him.
That's low, Jackal. So low.
What are you talking about?
Oh, that's the juice, baby. Yo, I feel the juice.
Yeah, we feel the juice right now. Ian Cunningham, Shayne. Big interview with Dan Pompey. Coach Eberflus sitting down with Peter King. The Chicago Bears are taking a different approach to building this football team. Obviously, we're going to get into it with Kevin.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be. He told you what his plan was going to be just because.
We're not used to truth, Shayne.
Well, that's the thing, and fans get so caught up. And I get it. I'm right there with you. I want action when it comes to the Chicago Bears all the time, and it gets intoxicating. But the Bears have lived that life for multiple decades and gotten nothing out of it. And right, wrong, or indifferent, I mean, as soon as the Tyreek Hill news dropped that he was on the trade block, there's people out there, and I looked in like one of my feeds, and somebody's like, "Do you think pick 39 would do it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And you saw what he went for. Oh yeah, and he's getting $72 million guaranteed. I get it. He's an ultimate playmaker, but guess what? He's also one strike away from being out of the league for a year because of his history. So that's a big part of it. And tell you what, you better fucking hope Tua works out. That's all I'm going to say. Because if he doesn't,
this is
Cars talked about this. Yeah, they're fucked.
Teddy Bridgewater is under the impression that there's a competition there. That has leaked out. So I'm just saying.
I heard they say that Bridgewater was informed that Tua, it was basically like they hadn't named a starter yet. And so he took it as, all right, I can win the job. But they're fucking Tua's a starter there. No, 100%, right? I mean,
yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so with this new coach.
Tua's making $2 million more than
he looks like.
Petty.
He looks like our guy here. Singing that Florida Orange, baby. That's the new coach of the Dolphins. Mike Daniels right there.
Phil, we talked about Tua extensively. I mean, Everybody knows I'm a Bama guy. Never
been on the record.
Yeah.
Never.
Don't touch him.
He was nicked up in high school. He was nicked up constantly in Alabama. He's been nicked up in Miami. Not nicked like
Never
that.
get nicked up with those.
Oh, that's right. The 4.0.
Right, Sheri?
Did you receive a little care package?
I did get a
Me too.
care package. There's his knuckles.
Yeah, look at those hairy fingers, Ryan Cox.
Fantasy champion.
Look at that thing.
Fantasy champion.
Manscaped may have to do something.
There it is.
Can you put the ring back up there for a second?
That's a dope trophy, though.
Can we
Poop underneath his fingernail there.
Can we start a TTNL GoFundMe and do a manicure?
Get a
for Ryan
Manscaped.
Cox?
Yeah. Get him a Manscaped.
Sorry, Ryan.
Damn, Ryan.
Sorry, Ryan.
God damn.
Only thousands of people see this.
Oh my God.
Let's just keep it up the whole show.
No.
Isn't that an odd place to have hair right up above the ring there, though? When we're thinking about it.
We should tie it all together.
Poor Ryan Cox. He's had frustration about hair for years.
Stress will make you grow hair in weird places, man.
He can do the
he's had to
LeBron
deal with
strip
a
and
lot.
just start pulling it off of his knuckles. And
You just rip that shit off and tape it on his foot.
I keep on looking at my phone waiting for a fuck you text.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape. That's just the way it is. You want to know how I coach football? Look at the tape.
That's it. Look at the tape. I like this, what Shayne was referring to. I'm sure we could find it. Ryan Poles telling you what he's going to do in free agency. We're not going to go out there and spend. We're going to find those second guys, those guys that fit our culture. And when you look at these guys that they've signed, Shayne, 6th round pick, undrafted, 7th round pick. Their stories seem to be a certain level. They're all under 28, and they all have one attribute that all of them share, except for, I think Justin Jones was what, 4th round pick?
3rd
round pick. They all
he
love the game of football.
He got boosted up from his week in Mobile.
Oh my God. He had the most dominant week.
Yeah,
no one could block that motherfucker.
No.
That's why my dad, if you're not a patron, made such a great point on the whiteboard when he was looking at, because the Chargers run Vic Fangio style defense. And he was talking about when you put him in a 4-3 defense, he's going to be your 3 technique. You are going to see Justin Jones allowed to just penetrate, not worry about 2-gapping, delivering the blow, but penetrate, get into the backfield, set the line of scrimmage in the backfield. Justin Jones, become a patron. That honestly, X's with the O's last Sunday was one of my favorite. And I'm being biased because my dad was just in a zone teaching the game of football. If you like, we are now announcing a new show on our network in the offseason, Masters Class, where me and my dad, more led by my dad, are going to just go over the basics of football each and every weekend here on Patreon, giving you what is a 3 technique, what is the tight end's responsibility on waggle or cutoff or isolated plays, just breaking down this, something simple, because you always hear us talk about 3 technique and throwing things that you don't know, wham blocks and all of that stuff. Well, what does that mean? Let's go up onto the board, take your questions, draw it up, become a patron. That's going to be so new. Another show on our Patreon channel. And there's so much more news coming to TTNL, Tape Never Lies Network.com. So obviously Draft Mob, we had such a great time, Shayne.
Yeah.
If you're a patron, Demetrius Meach Taylor from App State. Guy was on with us breaking down his tape. You guys ended up finishing the whole draft. So it was our first mock.
You guys were awesome.
Cheated on me.
We did.
Cheated on me.
It was fun. George hated your fucking first pick, but
no way.
George. How do you not enjoy George? Are you here an interior offensive lineman? Which, oh, by the way, who's our guard? Who's our guard? Yeah, Sheri.
We'll find out.
Actually. So I honestly go check that out. We're going to be debating all of the offseason on Draft Mob. X's with the O's will be back breaking down 3 free agents: Pringle, Muhammad, and who's the other one, Shayne? Equanimous St. Brown.
The other Brown.
Equanimous St. Brown. What is let's talk about Equanimous real quick.
St. Brown's nice, man.
There is a lot of potential there, right? Yeah. Because he's on a football team that has a lot of talent, we know, offensively. And you could say whatever it is you want to say about the Green Bay Packers. But if you're looking at tape, one thing they've done very well, aside from drafting Hall of Fame quarterbacks, they've developed wide receiver talent. Morgan Freeman. Not Morgan Freeman. Aaron Freeman. What was his name? What was Freeman? Remember his name?
Antonio.
Remember the ball, the drop?
Definitely wasn't Morgan.
Monday night, right?
Could you do a Morgan Freeman impression?
No.
Antonio Freeman, Donald Driver, Cobb. Remember the kid that sucked with us? Then he goes over to the fucking Packers. He's good.
I probably said it on this network at some point, but maybe it was the other one. Do you know the Bears connection to Donald Driver?
No. What is it?
It's just our luck.
Sam Hurd's plug.
No, the Bears traded a 7th round draft pick to the Green Bay Packers for running back returner Glenn Milburn. He came to Chicago and actually made an impact.
Glenn Milburn.
Actually believe he made the Pro Bowl. The Packers in the 7th round with that pick drafted wide receiver Donald Driver.
No shit.
It just always comes back to haunt us. And Donald Driver always somebody I loved as a like you admire a player. I hated him in the competition, but I loved and admired his game because he played the game how you should. With toughness, pride.
Donald Driver was a Bears killer. James Jones.
Bears James killer. Fucking Jones on to fucking 4-yard line. You know he's fucking breaking in and going out.
Yep.
Yeah.
You couldn't fucking cheat on
Robert Brooks was another great name.
Who?
Robert Brooks was another name.
Oh my God. Robert Brooks.
Good call, Chuck.
Wasn't Robert Brooks with us? Was he on the Bears? Who was the receiver from Tennessee we had? That's a good. He was fast as shit. Was it Morgan? His last name Morgan?
We had Joshua Morgan at one point, but I don't think
I can't remember this. Somebody in the chat will get it. I think he was
like St. Brown though, Phil. Do you like that ad?
I really do. This is Morgan Freeman.
No.
Wide receiver. No, I could try. I gave
less
it
than $1 million for him too, though. I think he signed for $965,000.
No, this is what I like about St. Brown. Back to that.
Yeah. St.
Brown has so much ceiling.
Jordy Nelson.
Right? He has so much athletic ability at 6'5". The stats and the playing time aren't there, but we saw a lot of. I remember, and I'm keeping it 100 with you. When he was coming out of that draft, you were looking at his potential, and when the Packers got him, I was like, fuck, because I know they developed their receivers. So
yeah, they took him and Valdez-Scantling the same year, and they took them both.
Now I thought we were going to sign Valdez-Scantling.
Still out there.
I thought that was going to be our guy.
He left Kansas City without a deal.
He was there today, so. But I mean, they had a lot of stuff
probably
going
they're
on.
going to sign his
ass. So you had it up there. Dakota Harper, McKenzie signed before free agency opened with Buffalo.
That was Shayne and I's hope.
Yeah.
Where's Gary Williams?
Buffalo's a fucking team
that's fucking late to the meeting, Gary.
Buffalo's a team that's killed this offseason.
Oh my God. Who's
I don't get the Von Miller.
The Jacksonville Jaguars have fucked everybody.
Yeah.
Right, Jackle? We talked about this earlier today. This Christian Kirk contract reminds me of Claudio's auctioneering for God's sake. It
But you
set
the
the
loser
bar
tax.
way too fucking high. Too many points in that mortgage. Too many.
The Bears were 100% interested in Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But when those numbers got out there,
Dude.
and then, I mean, no fucking way.
Oh, my God.
You overpay to get them to go. I mean, they're not. That's the only way you can get them to come is, you know,
There he
these
is.
dudes want their
Anthony
bag,
Morgan.
You know? Oh,
Thank
good
you.
call.
Thank you, Chris. That was the
Tony
former
Morgan.
Bear. Went to Tennessee. He was in the 90s. He was fast as fuck. Remember, Shayne? He just wasn't consistent. But anyway, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the showcase. Jaguars opposite of the Bears. So you're seeing two teams with two young quarterbacks being built extremely different. What consistently have the Jaguars done? They've gotten great talent in their draft. Look at it. And what happens, Shayne? They all go somewhere else.
Yeah.
All gone. All gone. They leave.
Yeah,
even fucking
don't
Sheri's
win.
favorite quarterback.
Their middle linebacker out of UCLA.
Oh my God.
6
That
years
was
old?
Jack.
And,
Now he's a Steeler,
yeah,
right?
and he's going to eat there in Pittsburgh.
Oh my God,
He
that was
led
a
their team in
great
tackles
fit.
last year. He was a fucking beast for them, and then they're
I
like
mean,
deuces.
The Baltimore Ravens always are in the draft and they get this guy that's the perfect fit.
Yeah,
Right?
always. Yep.
Steelers do this right with their free agents. Like, oh my God, who didn't see that? Now, Mitch Trubisky, on the other hand, we're going to have to see what he does.
Yeah.
But getting back to St. Brown, he's one of those wild cards here. Who knows? I'm telling you, this is from someone I trust. I haven't even shared this with Shayne because I've been so crazy with the house hunting and shit. It's crazy. It's crazy with that stuff. So someone that I know who's played in the league, Aaron Rodgers and how do we say his name?
Equanimous.
Equanimous. It sounds like a math equation.
Yeah.
Equanimous.
ESB.
Equanimous. Don't see eye to eye. And when Aaron Rodgers don't like you, your ability to shine is like Angelo on this show. It's just it's not happening no more. So that is something in his corner. Whereas the blog boy is going to say, well, look at his stats. Look, he didn't do nothing with Aaron Rodgers. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
he's somebody I'm
scenario,
excited about.
Worst case, he's going to come here and be a good special teamer.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to return for us.
The Equanimous theorem. Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Exactly. Get that shirt.
For $1 million in today's day and age, if
Stunner.
you can get anything out of him, that's a good signing by polls.
Oh,
I
have no problem with the signing. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this kid's going to get you 700 yards.
He's an unknown.
Anybody we draft would probably be higher than him on the depth chart, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything is set in stone. You have Mooney and everything's fucking wide open. I mean, let's be honest.
Daz Newsome, Equanimous, Pringle.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of question marks around Daz Newsome. Myself, people get excited about him. Flashed a couple of times in preseason.
I like his punt return game.
Yep.
But Pringle, to me, has a lot of things you like to see. Yep. And if you are a patron, you're going to want to tune in on Sunday. X's with the O's has to move to Sunday because of my tight schedule of house hunting and shit like that. So become a patron, thetapeneverlies.com. We are going to break down who is this new defensive end for the Chicago Bears. Who is this receiver? Let's look at some of his tape. What is his potential? Is it an Aaron Rodgers to the Equanimous theorem? He doesn't like that equation. I don't know. We'll look at it. And of course, let me go back to Pringle. I'll just say this. There's a level of pride, toughness. In fact, Donald Driver is a great comp to this kid. He's had a troubled past. So has Muhammad, Shayne.
Yeah.
Both of these guys have a trouble pass.
Somebody told you about Muhammad back in January. I'm not.
Oh, sure you called this. I gotta give credit where credit is due.
Smartest man.
Yes, not this guy.
I've been called worse.
He didn't say anything about Muhammad. It's that guy. So Shayne says to me, watch. Eberflus is gonna get Muhammad here. I go, you think? Oh yeah, he's a free agent. He's gonna be here. Okay. Every year now for the last 7, Shayne has called before free agency one guy. He's called more than one some seasons, but he has a record now 7 in a row calling, predicting one
guy. Muhammad's presser, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm so excited to be here with my boy Deion Bush. We're gonna play together. I'm looking so forward to it." He must not have had any idea that Deion Bush was a free agent, and he signed.
Did you see him correct himself later?
Yeah.
Well, I played with he does it in a video, like a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Well, I played with Deion, but if he comes back.
If he comes back.
Did you see though his excitement?
Oh yeah.
On that video.
Awesome.
I didn't see the whole presser.
About the
when he's in this
is amazing.
This facility, it was authentic.
Adam Rank said it best. Ryan Pace died so Ryan Poles can live, because that's
I love
that's
wearing my boy Rank.
It is. That's
he was
exactly
wearing
what
our
it's for.
gear. I'm wearing his gear. Rank the Rank take role. That's a great line. I'm sorry I cut you off, Shayne.
No. I'm just saying that's part of their thinking with all of this, to use it, to get guys. And I've never seen it in person, but everything that I've heard from people that do know said it's the most impressive building in all of football in terms of.
So imagine what they're going to do with the stadium.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like that they got that history.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the coach and GM, the GM is when I first saw the walk in and the lights are lighting up.
Yeah.
And the numbers on each side.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's almost like they're in big.
Where's the 54
the football version?
Where was the 54 light though lighting up?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
I didn't either. I didn't know. Maybe it's up top because there was some up top. I don't know.
I haven't been there yet. D. Levine, best building, worst team. I wouldn't say worst team.
Fucking Bengals don't even have an indoor facility.
But listen,
fucking crazy.
There is a point to be made that Shayne is talking about. Think about if you are an athlete, and there's a bunch of you that have played college, whatever sport, whatever. But you go as a senior in college, a senior in high school, rather, on these recruiting visits to these schools. I can vividly remember going to each school, and with each entry was to try to impress you with the facility. That's commonplace. It's like house hunting. You go into the house. If the house is gorgeous, they've cleaned it, they painted it, they put new stuff in there to impress you, to make you want to be a part of that. Want it. That's smart. So we can't destroy the Bears for everything and put it under the umbrella of collaboration and all the mistakes they've made. They have done something right. There is something to be said to be a new. Your life has changed. Just say you're a 5th round pick out of Tennessee State. Your life has changed going into the NFL. But then you walk through the facility and you're like blown away, like, wow, this is where I'm going to work. Wow. That just makes that guy hopefully work harder. See, what Matt Nagy didn't understand is that if he had a level of accountability and a program that had a foundation of expectation, like you're seeing with Eberflus.
Yeah, Nagy got to Kansas City. He's like, dude, I'm not sure Tyreek can run curls.
Tyreek Hill's like, trade my ass.
Fuck out of here.
I don't want to run a fucking bubble screen reverse Willy Wonka strut play.
Dude, Miami, man.
Yo, smash the fucking like button. Can you do it?
This is a good question here from Vondex. I mean, to talk about it's. I think that they're in play just because you haven't heard anything. It's pretty standard procedure. I would look to like Friday to hear something.
Yeah, he's got to make his decision.
Well, and then he's got to receive all the offers.
Vikings, Wait a second. Yeah. How much does him walking through that tunnel weigh into him You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's the perfect question at the time.
It's not just that. I put on Twitter last night, and you guys always hear me talk about this is a poker game, and you know there's a business aspect of it. He came into the league as an undrafted free agent. Yeah. So part of being an undrafted free agent is somebody, you know, is looking for you, a director of scouting maybe in Philadelphia. That's who signed him as a UDFA. Who was that director of scouting? Ian Cunningham. So he brought him to Philadelphia, signed him as an undrafted free agent. Granted, they did trade him in Philadelphia. They traded him to Buffalo for linebacker Eli Harold later on that offseason. But still, you know, he was directly connected with getting this kid and giving him his chance in the NFL. And maybe it's a long shot, but there is a history there, and I think that matters. That
relationships matter
100%.
So the Bills can match any offer.
They have the right of first refusal. Yeah. So they tendered him at what, $2.4 million, I believe it was.
2.433.
Yeah. So and listen, if the Bears want him and Ryan Bates wants Chicago, the Bears can get extremely crafty, because I mean the Bears are top 4 in cap space. They can, you know, they're not supposed to do poison pills, but you can essentially make it extremely difficult for Buffalo to sign him, to say, all right, yeah, we're going to do that. Because I mean, they've made a flurry of moves this offseason already to improve their team. And I mean, they're not looking at just their division and stuff. They're looking to win the whole fucking thing. And the moves that they made point totally to that. But this is a kid that's stepped up, and you know, he stepped up when somebody got hurt, and he took him through the playoffs. But I don't know.
Took him through the playoffs. Took him. Do you hear anything?
I hear something.
These guys will tell you the best abilities is availability. Hello? Is anybody here?
No.
Lord Cars.
Nope, nobody's
here.
How
are you? All rise.
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Wonderful. Did you smash that like button before you came on the show?
No, I just drugged my children with sleeping pills before I came on. That's about as exciting as I get.
All right.
Lord Car's like, shut the fuck up. Fishman's coming on.
I gotta go yell at the Fishman for an hour. Come on, hurry up. Hurry up.
Real quick, before we get into the football talk, did you have any comment on the hairy knuckles of Ryan Cox?
Did you see them?
I did not.
Hold on.
You're on the air, baby. You're on.
Where'd they go?
You did it. You made it.
There they are.
That's impressive. That is very Cro-Magnon, like you know, very evolution of man. So
yeah.
shout out to Ryan.
What's that term? It's all going to your head.
Yeah.
Nope.
He looks like he's buffering. It looks like it's all stretched out. It's trying to like load.
At least someone put a ring on it for him, right?
Yeah,
right. I mean,
give me some fucking names. It looked like when he was planting the garden, he forgot about the crop up above the ring that just got like one seed. Where he was watering.
Real quick, show the trophy. Show the trophy though. Look at this trophy.
That trophy is terribly impressive.
Listen,
yeah,
on the side of it, it's got
going.
his name.
Did you design that,
boy.
Jackal? Was that you?
I did, yes. I mean, the trophy itself was. I mean,
you
it
did a
wasn't
great
hard,
job.
but the panel and the little fucking what do you call that thing on the bottom? The plate, nameplate.
The nameplate, and every winner gets to keep that in their house and gets the nameplate. Then they have to turn it in if there's a new champ, right?
Yeah, we'll work something out. That the first one to Cox, we'll figure out the rest from here. But
yeah, we may end up having to buy another one, and he can keep because that one's got.
Oh, it's special.
That's somebody that's
it's got a few names on there. So.
Oh no.
So maybe
TTNL.
we'll take a poll and see because we can do championship belts and everything.
Oh yeah,
I think belts is the way.
Belts
to go
are the
for
way to
future.
go to
yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
I can
Gotta
see
get one with the
Jackal coming
spinner.
in.
Oh yeah,
Adam
Hang
Rank
that shit right on my
in.
shelf up here.
How great would that have been?
Could we
if
make
we got
that
right to the good part and then we look down and Fishbain's waiting in the
He's like, what the
that
fuck?
would have been
What
all.
fucking show?
We can
What
explain.
link did Jackal send?
I think he knows the show, so he's got to know the work. I think that should be the name of the league. Work that ass for daddy league. I don't know. Sheri might.
Trophy look nice on the
I
mantle
think
and Cox.
Goodell would like that as the name for the NFL, as he seems to think that he is the Lord and Savior of the NFL. That would
is
work.
over Lord Hans.
Could we call it?
Actually plays linebacker next year besides Roquan. Gibson should be the third edge. That's probably a pretty good point, Red Hot Duck. You mentioned bringing in some of the free agents from the Colts too. Who do you think is going to play that linebacker spot?
Yeah,
system
it'll really depend on who they want to bring in.
That's all, folks.
There you go.
It's always bad when you've got a reboot in the middle of doing your work, right? Like you got a little blue screen of death there, and
they told me there would be no names involved.
Give me some fucking.
Is this live?
That should be.
I could clean that up in post, Jackal. Don't worry.
We gotta add that, Shayne. Right after he doesn't answer, it depends on who they are. Then you put your drop.
Give me some fucking names. I don't think John's a big fan of
TTNL.
Shayne Marsaw. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I can't blame him there.
That was John Wood.
That's fine. Yeah.
Where have
really?
you fucking been?
Yeah, that's John.
Oh
You fucking knew me.
God.
Hi, my name's Shayne. It's my friend Phil.
I was kidding.
He's the new
Friend
boy.
ours.
Hold
It
on.
made me laugh.
Breaking news.
Given the opportunity to do a more expansive search, would you have done it?
I was given the opportunity. I found him.
That just happened for Jackal last night.
By the way, Matt Nagy's not our coach anymore, Jackal. I don't know if you know this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Trubisky starting.
Yes,
What the fuck?
he'll be week one. He'll be week one.
I haven't heard the Bullets hasn't texted me that yet.
Guys, come on. Just playing around.
Trubisky starting for the Steelers. Everyone here?
They like
Yes?
Malik Willis. They went out to dinner with him already. Tomlin likes him.
Oh my
If they get a
God.
first-round quarterback, he's not starting. Yeah.
At
Dude,
that
did
dollar
you
amount,
see
no.
the
You're
deep
right,
ball
Carson.
by Malik Willis?
Oh,
No pads on, not a receiver, being guarded, no lineman.
his excitement though level is really fun to watch too.
Thank
Like
you.
you get those guys that really love it. Like
You could
that.
tell.
Oh yeah.
It's
Some guys are all
authentic.
business, and he is like it's
He was high
business.
fiving dudes,
Yeah.
running around. That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's what this game is about. There's something energetically when you. It's just me. When I look at tape and I see the personality, there used to be like Neil Anderson when used to see him smiling. I remember Madden pointing out he loves the fucking game. I mean, he loves the game here, and you could just see there is something to be said about a player that just.
Oh my God,
Jimmy, you're talking about that. What a fucking high
here
bar
he
for
is.
Mitch.
Here he is.
What a high bar for
He
Mitch.
doesn't like war paint either, Jackal.
No, you're right though. Like you want to see the guys who don't enjoy it, who kind of make business decisions on the field, right? Like and those guys. Listen, you're here to make a lot of money, but the guys who are contagious, like that's why we football guys, we always love like the high motor guy who may not have the most amount of talent in the world, but is always going, always attacking. Those are the guys you want to root for. It's like basketball, right? It's like the bench guy who sprints all over the place. Those are my favorite guys because they're like, I can't believe I'm here. I got this opportunity. I'm going to make the most of it.
My favorite game in a long time happened in a losing season, and it was last year when all the young kids were playing defense against the Vikings. I hadn't seen that kind of effort,
Yep.
And I know DHC has re-signed.
Yes.
And that to me is a good showcase that Ian Cunningham and Ryan Poles are seeing the temperature of what we're talking about with Malik here. DHC loves the game of football. That shows up on the tape. We've shown you that before. Barlissimo, myself, and my dad were breaking him down last year on X's with the O, saying
who was first on breaking him down, though. That's the good thing. Who was first?
That must have been George.
What?
But seriously,
you look at a guy like Willis, and people can agree or disagree. There's rumors out there, but if you're the Detroit Lions, are you gonna take a fucking safety number 2 overall?
I think Willis is going there.
He's got to. That's what I was gonna say. He's got to.
You can't justify a safety.
Not after they just shit down their leg with their what they take their corner.
Jeff Okuda,
third overall or whatever it was, and it's like now you're gonna get a safety up there.
Well, I mean, you can't replace Jared Goff. Look how poorly that worked out for the LA Rams, right? I mean, that was just a massive failure.
Criticized for putting Jared Goff as 51st. A 51st player in that year's draft was Jared Goff. It was a 51A player. Cars.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, 51.
I mean, this is not a bad move. Cliff suggesting if they're not going to take Willis, trade down. Somebody make that trade with Pittsburgh and get a pick, because they really want him. You may be able to capitalize on that.
They've never done that. Yeah, that's what it would be fascinating about it, and I think it's fun to watch with these guys. Like
the bad part about it, I mean, it's good for us, but I at the same time they have to. I feel like Cars does. They have to take Willis, but I can 100% see them taking Hamilton from Notre Dame. That's just such a Detroit Lions thing.
It's such a Dan Campbell thing, right? Because he'll talk about his passion and energy, and he'll go through all of those things.
That's like
absolutely.
That's like the Jamal Adams things. The Jamal Adams thing all over again. And not say, I mean,
and the Seahawks doubling down on that same point, right? Like,
hey, the Bears got it wrong that year with the quarterback. I totally understand it, but the point of the matter is when you're up there and you were as bad as the Bears were that you have to fucking swing at the quarterback.
You have to swing. Yeah. If you don't swing for the fences, you've seen in the history, in this franchise's history, you've seen them strike out so many times for you can't pass a Randy Moss. You can't pass an Aaron Rodgers. You can't pass a quarterback.
You don't want to be the Colts, right? That are getting retreads what is it? 6 years in a row. It's been a different starter week one. You can't do that. It just doesn't. It doesn't work.
It never has worked, and I think if there is no science behind the NFL draft, even with the billions of dollars they have. At some point, some dude falls in love with somebody who doesn't love the game of football enough, and that's where the failures come in.
It's usually the Seattle Seahawks in round one, right? It's usually the Seahawks in round one.
So if you look at Willis's excitement in that pro day, he's checking a box off for me that I know this kid loves the game of football. So if you're looking for a quarterback, Detroit, I don't want to help them, but if you're taking the safety out of Notre Dame over a young quarterback with that kind of upside, you're just going to continue to lying. And hey, Don Burr will still protect you. Anyway, I am super, super excited to finally meet in person. I've spoken to him in the past over the audio levels, like we're talking on a phone, but never have I seen him in person live. But listen, we introduce our guys that come on this show a different way and how they deserve to enter a room. I don't know why Adam Johns and Hogue don't introduce this guy like this every time he comes on their show, but we will do it every time he comes on our show. His name is Kevin Fishbain of The Athletic. Let's do it.
This former Northwestern grad currently is the preeminent Bears beat writer for The Athletic. Sorry, Adam Johns.
Nicest thing, I'll tweet about Larry Mayer all year long.
And you can occasionally catch him on the Hogan Johns podcast, where he has no problem letting his Northwestern pride shine. Bears fans, TTNL fans, let's get up out our seats and give it up for this TTNL Network first-timer. He's the Fishman, Kevin Fishbain.
There he is, Kevin Fishbain. How you doing, Kev? Can you hear us? I don't know if you can hear us.
I don't.
No, you can't.
No.
Oh, my Maron. That's why he couldn't hear his intro or anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Jackal, can you
make
help
sure
him?
your browser has access?
Yeah, to your audio.
To your audio.
He'll come back on. We'll have to introduce him again because he didn't even get to hear his intro.
We'll clean it up in post, everybody. Don't worry.
This is what happens. Like, you guys don't see us during the intros, but my thing that I do is while the intro is playing, I always watch the person. I'm like, he either hates this fucking intro,
he didn't have any emotion,
or
the funny part,
he's stone cold. Like, Chris
or was
Emma.
he frozen?
No, I don't think he was. He was like,
no, I'm saying he couldn't hear. I was saying the same thing.
I remember when Chris Emma came on, I got a little bit nervous because I was watching Chris Emma during his intro. And I'm like, oh man, this dude does not look like he is enjoying this at all. But then he came on, he chopped it up, and he was great. But
Emma's coming back, Shayne.
Yeah,
Chris Emma.
He wrote a very good article this today that you should read about the way they're going about this rebuild and off season. So it's a very quick read, but it is a very good one.
Jackal, make sure he's on Google Chrome. I don't know if he's on because if he's on Safari,
yeah, Safari gives a lot of problems.
Safari will give a lot of problems, as Ron G will tell you.
This is usually
Mickey Mouse.
This is usually a draft mob issue that I think we've had this issue the last 2 weeks with people coming on with the audio, but
audio. He doesn't have those issues when he's on Hogan Johns. What the hell?
I think they're using Skype though, or Zoom. They're using Zoom in that one, so it's a separate client.
Oh, I think they are on StreamYard. I think.
Oh,
I think Hogan Johns do use StreamYard.
They all copied us.
Then let me do what I hired to do.
Well, then I have nothing.
Yeah,
I was trying to help you out, Carr. I think that.
Well, while we're waiting,
get in somebody's ass today. That's right.
Yeah,
let's do it.
But Cars, I was working today, and I'm like, I saw your tweets go out, and you see the response to those, and everybody melting down, and it's just, it's doom and gloom every single day or every hour that somebody is not signed. You know, it's over, and just the thought process or where your head is with this free agency and looking forward with the Bears.
You know, would I have loved to have more to talk about and be more interested in it? Yes. But one of the things I kind of was talking through and you kind of saw is if you look at the Bears roster and its makeup, right? Like we only have 9 guys drafted in the first 3 rounds by the Bears on the roster today. And one of those is now gone in James Daniels, right? So you're at the very best, you've got 8 guys drafted in rounds 1, 2, and 3 to build around. Would you guys be shocked that we only had 3 third-round draft picks under Ryan Pace in 7 years? Only 3.
3.
Yes. And so, and while Monty was great, the other 2 are Ronas Grasu and Jonathan Bullard. So when you
got
look,
great get off.
Great get off. But it brings, you know, Dustin brought up a good point. When you remember back to the interview process, it was Polian said that they've got 6 to 8 maybe blue chippers on this team.
Yes.
And that was before they traded Khalil Mack. I even think
James Daniels was in that, maybe.
I think so.
Me
and
too.
so now you're down
Kevin,
to like,
hear us? Can you put a thumbs up, Kev? Can you hear us? Yes.
All right.
Now let's try this again.
I'll stop.
We gotta introduce this guy again. He didn't even. He looked like.
I'm like, man, he hates this fucking intro.
This motherfucker hates this. I put a lot of work into this. Shayne wrote a great script. Let's do it again. I'll give him a.
We'll clean it up.
We'll clean it up in post. We're gonna do it live. We'll do it fucking live. Anyway, it's first time I'm meeting him in person. Well, second time, because the first time he couldn't hear shit. He was doing sign language. Anyway, the second time though, now is going to be the second time around is going to be better. I love this guy because he keeps it real. He fits this show. And we'll have 2 guys with glasses on the show. We'll play a game. Which one is which on this? But anyway, Kevin Fishbain. Find him on The Athletic, but also find him here on Keepin It 100.
This former Northwestern grad currently is the preeminent Bears beat writer for The Athletic. Sorry, Adam Johns.
Nicest thing I'll tweet about Larry Mayer all year long.
And you can occasionally catch him on the Hogan Johns podcast, where he has no problem letting his Northwestern pride shine. Bears fans, TTNL fans, let's get up out our seats and give it up for this TTNL Network first-timer. He's the Fishman, Kevin Fishbain.
Kevin Fishbain, he's in the house.
Okay, that was awesome. That was
you had us scared there for a
second. I thought you were going to quit.
This dude is pissed at something.
I heard everything leading in, and the second the intro started, I lost everything.
Oh my God. It was almost like a Ryan Pace second round pick. You just traded up again into the first round.
It's true.
But I'm honored. That was pretty cool. And I have to show my old man that the picture of the 2 of us got in there. So
absolutely. Listen, TTNL, we always keep it 100 like the show is called. And we want to bring on people like yourself that do this every day. But also, I love the fact that you're not afraid to show your affection and your fandom. I think that makes you more authentic. I think it makes your takes more authentic and real. And I feel like it gives that bridge, so to speak, to the fans that you're coming from a real place, not just with Northwestern, but with the Chicago Bears too. I think that affiliation and love for Northwestern that you have and your family is really why we want you on this show more often, because it's just tremendous. And I'm so excited to have you here, brother.
I appreciate that, Phil. It means a lot. You guys do good work. And so I know that is not hollow from you. So I do appreciate that. And look, you know, I think I came up in this business a little bit in like I was kind of like the Bill Simmons generation to a point, you know, where Bill was the first one to like, hey, I'm going to be a huge fan. Now, I wouldn't call Bill a journalist. I don't think he would call himself that either. But like, I think we were taught that once you get into this, you can't root for anybody.
Yeah. Exactly.
I was like, wait a second. Like, I understand like my job covering the Bears. I get that. But I get one day off during the NFL season. Yeah. That's Saturday. And I'm going to wear my Damian Anderson jersey, and I'm going to be at Ryan Field, and I'm going to act like a total meathead. And I think I never thought of it this way, Phil. So I'm glad you brought that up, and I hope it's okay. I'm going in this weird.
Absolutely.
This is what this show is.
We tangent all the time. It's fine.
But I do, because like I will write things, and I'll think to myself, like, what do Bears fans want to know? What do readers want to know? Because I'll think about myself as a Northwestern fan. Like, what would I want to know? And when I first started covering the Bears, you know, I was working for a really small outlet. I mean, I was low on the totem pole. But I told myself, I said, well, as a Northwestern diehard, I read everything about Northwestern. And I know you guys, you'll read everything. I mean, you'll make sure it's good, right?
Yeah, maybe not Weeder that frequently because he's just so negative. Coming on everybody else. Don't hurt.
He's on I won't stand. Dan's my guy. I'm not going to stand for Dan's.
Not you, Kevin.
We'll clip that audio for next week when he comes out with us.
We're going to put cars on the spot next week and show Dan.
I love the beat. I love I'm fortunate to get to do what I do. But yeah, I do think that, you know, allowing myself to continue to be a Northwestern fan and, you know, having the ability to do that. Yeah, I'll still root for the Chicago teams also in town. So it helps because I understand what diehard fans want. They want everything they can get about their teams. And I try hard and I do my best to be able to bring that to them.
It's important that you say that because that's exactly how I see you. I'm sorry to double down on this, but I think it's important that our fan base understands. I mean, we have some very loyal TTNL fans. I think everybody on the beat understands it. Some people don't like us on the beat, but we hold the beat accountable because of what you're talking about.
Ask Grody.
Ask Mark Grody. Mark Grody, honestly, has so much respect on this network because we called him out. And he said, you know what? Right. I got to do better for people like you that live it, die for it every single. And he totally changed it. He's like, I heard you motherfuckers in my head when I'm at the thing. Like, I got to tweet more. I got to keep people updated. It's bad enough that the Chicago Bears and their media practices reflect on their practice. You can't shoot a video of Shayne in shorts and a helmet. It's taboo. Well, the guy that loves the Chicago Bears in Japan that's staying up at certain time in the morning to watch the game would love to just get a glimpse. Like you miss out on understanding that Kevin Fishbain is able to connect now with this technology on a beat that back in the day, we've talked about this every single time. And I'm sorry, I'm going on a mini rant, but it's about you, Kevin, because my mother bought me Bear Report when I was 8 years old as a Christmas gift. I read that freaking thing cover to cover. That's when Dan Pompei became my guy. Like, I wanted to be the next Dan Pompei as a little kid. I wanted to be Walter Payton more, but I wanted that to cover the Bears like that. And I've told Dan that on the show as well. But it was cover to cover. And it's so important that we reach those fans. And now with technology and stories and the backstory, what was going on, that stuff's important. So somebody like you that goes out of his way to recognize, I really believe that I hate that culture of you can't cheer for. I like the fact that a reporter actually cares about the Bears, but he's going to tell the truth. That's what this show is about too. We all care about the Bears. We ain't saying Mike Glenning's the next coming because the Bears signed him. No, We want to analyze the tape and show you the truth. So my mini rant. So I thank you so much for what you do. In all honesty.
Thank you. And it's funny too, because I think this afternoon, the whole Dakota Dozier thing, and I think this is a perfect example, Phil, what you're talking about, because I really again, I get it. I totally get, we're all on pins and needles. Everyone wants to understand who Ryan Poles is and what he's trying to build. And everybody, and I know you guys respect offensive line play.
Exactly.
And you understand the importance of it. And here we have a GM who is going to emphasize it. So you're just waiting, who's going to be the tackle? Who's going to be the guard? And then you get the word, here's Dakota Dozier. I totally get it. And I try not to I really try, because if you guys know, I'm very snarky. I like to have fun. I always say this is that I take my job very seriously, but it's a game, right? Yeah. So I do my best to have fun with it. And I'm seeing everyone melt down over Dakota Dozier.
It's a camp body.
They're going to cut 30 veterans before Labor Day. So I try to have a little fun with it, but I also understand what you're saying, Phil, too, because I never want to be at a point, and you guys got to call me out if I get there. I don't want to. I want to be careful never to talk down to the fans, because I do understand that element of it. But I also want to be able to use kind of my institutional knowledge of what goes on to help. And be hey, I get that you're upset. I get that he's not the guy you wanted, but it's okay. He's probably going to get cut.
Yeah,
or he's going to be or at best he'll be the inactive guy in game day.
But even if he goes out there and improves himself, then you know what? He's done what every freaking person that's watched Rocky or loves the underdog has done. Yeah. So at the same time, we can't write the guy off, but at the same time, you have to analyze it truthfully. This guy's not coming here to start at right guard. That's not their purpose.
Phil, it doesn't help the Bears social media team. I mean, let's be honest. We got a bulldog. This is the QB1 tweet all over again. It's just they're. And Kevin, you're there every day. This organization.
Don't get Kevin in trouble.
No. But I'm just saying he doesn't have to. He knows where I'm going. I'm just saying they take the rabid fan base like us for granted. I mean, it's the way everything is. Like you said, you don't want to talk down to the fans. You don't. This organization really, really does. And there's a lot of guys on the beat that do. And I mean, we put a lot of time and effort in what we do. We're not just fans. We're grinding through tape all fucking week long. We kind of know what we're talking about. Like you said, Dakota Dozier. And I mean, I went on Twitter and I saw it and I'm like, oh my God, here comes Twitter. Everybody's going to melt down. And it's just, Cars is like, I got to take a break from this. And it's just like you said, man, he's a camp body and everybody wants to know what's next. But we live that life with Ryan Pace where it's, I'm going to get out of my mistakes by throwing a lot of money to fix it. And it didn't get fixed. And now we're seeing a totally different approach. And I sent out a tweet myself. I said, Ryan Poles told you guys what he was going to do. You just didn't listen. He told you that he was going to be very, judicious and kind of sit back. And they're like, well, he went out and got Ogunjobi. Well, yeah, but he didn't go out. That wasn't an exorbitant contract. Yeah. And I know David Haas said it was the stumble out of the gate. No, the stumble is if you would have let him sign it.
Thank you.
Fail in the physical.
Thank you.
So, I mean, that's
who we hold account. We got to get Hall on here to hold his ass to the flames because he talks down.
Yeah,
anyway,
that was my little mini rant. But Kevin, what I wanted to ask you, we had Deion Miller on here, and I asked her, with this new regime, has there been anything that has changed with the way that, with your access to anything, or is it the exact same as it was before?
What was Deion's answer? I did watch a little bit of it, but
she said no. There's been really nothing that's changed. Not yet, is what she said.
I would agree with Deion. I'm just trying to think through this a little bit. No, nothing's changed, but I also want to say nothing's changed yet.
Right.
And I want to be careful here for a lot of reasons, but my early impression is that Ryan Poles at least seems more interested in doing more media than the previous GM.
That's good.
That's what I've gathered so far.
Is that his call, or is that his like Hagel or somebody like that going to say no? This is what you're going to be. This is going to be your access. Do you know if that's whose call that is?
You're going to love this answer. I think it's collaborative.
That's what we're afraid of, man.
Well, no, I think
I feel like Dion said the same
answer.
thing.
Yeah.
She said Ted is pulling the strings with George. Ted.
I think there's a lot that the organization like would prefer things be done a certain way. But like Ryan Poles, if you're going to empower him to be in charge of football operations, like that's part of it. And I do think that there were a lot of things behind the scenes and that were media involved that Ryan Pace was pulling strings on. I do think he had a lot of say and stuff. But Ryan Pace's view was essentially he wanted the head coach to be the voice. Mm-hmm. And what was funny about Pace's arc is I remember the end of 2016 press conference. So they go 3-13. We know Fox is coming back. At that point, we'd had 2 years of that guy. And we were just, I mean, and I should go back and find the transcript. I think that 95% of the questions that day were directed at Ryan Pace. John Fox just sat there. And if you guys look back to that, in that moment, Ryan Pace was making Bears fans believe. Yeah. Like he was putting out a vision that people were like, yes, this is the guy I want to hear from. I'm done with this coach.
Yes.
I get why he's here. I understand it. But Pace was like, he was delivering this vision. And you could, like, you walked out of there being like, I get it. I get this guy. I believe in this guy. And, you know, and then Nagy gets here, same thing. He wants Nagy to be the voice. And then it's always hard when things get spiral. It's always hard because you just, you know, you're just running uphill. You're on an avalanche coming at you. So like I always will encourage these guys to talk more because that allows them to set the narrative. And I'm hopeful that Ryan Poles will do that. You know, a lot of us were hoping he was going to talk last week about Ogunjobi, about the Khalil Mack trade. We're going to get him in the owners' meetings on Monday. I believe it's Monday afternoon next week. So that'll be kind of the first sense of it. But yeah, my long answer is I'm hopeful that, you know, for your guys' sake, especially, that you're going to hear from the general manager a little bit more this time around.
I believe we do have a little bit of a clip from that 2016 presser, believe it or not, right here.
She agrees with the decisions that we've made. She's pissed off.
I think that's the 2016 one.
Was that
even before? Was that the?
That was the hiring of Trustman.
Okay.
They're
all the same.
You've seen one. You've seen all 47.
Yeah, there haven't been a lot of these because the Bears have changed regimes so much. But usually when the season ends, you get the head coach and the GM up at the dais for like an hour. So God, this is so funny. I've only done like 4 of these. Like there's always, you know, I remember after 2013 is a favorite one. This was amazing. I don't know if you guys remember this.
Let's go.
2013 season ends. We know how season ended. Chris Conti and Randall.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
I'm back. I'm in my seat now.
So we're all
not Chris Conti's fault, by the way, but go ahead. And
Phil Emery starts off by saying, Matt Slauson has signed a 3-year extension. So we're all tweeting, oh my God, Matt Slauson signed a 2-year extension. Tim Jennings has signed a 4-year extension. So we're all tweeting, Tim Jennings, oh my God, this is big news, Tim Jennings. And Jay Cutler. We're all like, what?
Yeah.
What? That was
7-year deal.
That was a mind-blowing day.
I remember that now.
Yeah.
They washed the wall of Bulls, letdown with extensions.
Yeah.
And holy shit, it's almost like Friday the 13th movies, like Jason keeps coming back. It's Ted and George. Let's announce this with Phil Emery. Collaboration. What was the other one, Shayne? You saw him. She's pissed off that episode, and it was like, "Fuck you, Ted."
Well, when they fired Nagy and Pace, I was taking my daughter to a pediatrician appointment. And Phil's like, "Yo, it happened," and I'm like, "They can't bring Ted out. They can't do that, right?" I said, "That's just the optics of it are bad." Phil's like, "Nah, they're not going to do it." And I'm like,
And they
just
didn't
have this feeling.
Let's be honest, Kevin. He sets the tone for me on the phone. He goes, "You're not going to believe this. They've announced, they being you, Kevin, there's no Ted Phillips at the dais. It's only Joe." I go, "They figured it out. Holy shit. They're doing it. It's just going to be George address." No, fucking Ted's on Zoom up in his office.
Oh, no, he was there. He was sitting off to the side, and then he
was it off to the side?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I thought it was on a camera somewhere else.
For the postseason presser.
Yes,
they were on Zoom in different offices.
Yes,
yeah, that's what it was. Right, different offices.
For the Polls Eberflus intro,
that's right.
Yep, he was.
There was some thought that Ted wasn't there, but he was in the room,
sitting in there.
I was actually the one who asked Ted his first question in that press conference because I kind of we're waiting on Zoom, and I thought, and I was legitimately interested to wonder if Ted wanted to bow out of the search because Ted does have a very acute knowledge of his reputation. Look, it's let's see. Be careful with my words here too.
Take a moment.
Swear on this show, Kevin. This is a Saturday. Pretend.
You want me to change your name to Pete down here or something? Turn your hat around.
Des Plains Pete.
Yeah, George McCaskey and Ted Phillips obviously have a very close relationship. It's gone back a long ways, and has done a lot of things that the family appreciates for the franchise. It's a simple. I mean,
just not win.
Yeah, it's funny too because it's I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
No, it's funny you say that because I always remember during the Duran era, right? People kept saying they don't want to fire him because Duran goes to church with Virginia every Sunday, right? Those little things do matter in the relationships. Though, when they click, it's very hard sometimes for them to separate because it feels like,
that's the problem though.
It's another child for them in a way.
It goes all the way back. Let's rewind back, guys, to what Kevin's saying from the beginning, and fans, please follow this. The level of transparency needs to change for the fan base. This can't be, guys, this is Ted and George being this couple that thinks these twin 7-year-olds aren't going to go running out in their church clothes and get dirty. It has to happen now. Allow Kevin Fishbain to sit down with the newest guy on the roster and have a one-on-one because the fans want to see that. They don't want to see Larry's. So when did you know that you loved the game? Well,
I don't know if I'm getting that sit down with Dakota Dozier after today.
Yeah, might be screwed there.
You
might not want that bulldozer smoke. Kevin.
Real quick, look at this dot. The Philadelphia Eagles, where Ian Cunningham comes from.
Yeah.
The culture, they take the media and break down tape with the media in Philly, putting up their own tape. Watch it. Guys, this is what and they're showing you. There's transparency. This is football. You can't pretend that your fan base is dumb and then just live off their loyalty forever. Well, I guess they can because there is a Bears disease and I have it too. But that it's got to stop at some point. I think you do a great job, I think, of allowing the fact that you care about this team to come off into your questions as well as your analysis. And it's unfortunately the McCaskies need to watch this show, and you got 500 and some odd people watching live that live and die with the Chicago Bears just like we do. And having you come on here and talk about these things is important. So hopefully they do change it. They haven't changed it yet, but I think a little bit more authenticity from the Bears. They built this fucking television studio. What do they do? Jeff Joniak's the only one who can use it? Like, what are we doing here? It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's it can be frustrating at times, and it's hard too, Phil, because the last 2 years are obviously a little bit of an anomaly because we haven't had, like, none of us have really had the access that we once enjoyed. So, you know, it's obviously a bit of an even playing field. And, like, look, you know, the Bears have generally, you know, I've had great opportunities for one-on-one conversation with guys from, I had one with Ted Phillips at the owners' meetings 4 years ago, and I was able to have one, you know, with Champ Kelly when nobody knew who he was, and a lot of players here and there. So that there are those moments, but yeah, I think that, you know, the NFL has an edict too. Like, the NFL wants the teams to generate as much content and traffic to their sites as possible. So, like, that's this factor that we have to battle now that, you know, reporters even 5 years ago didn't really have to battle. I will say this, because, you know, when we go to these, like the combine or the owners meetings, you know, one of the fun things about being in the Athletic is my colleagues cover other teams. Right. So we all, you know, we're all sharing notes, and it's always amazing to me. You know, you tell a story about the Eagles, you know, Mike Zimmer actually did that in Minnesota. He'd invite all the Vikings reporters in, and they'd break down tape. And sometimes, like, after a draft, they'd go, I think Ballard in Minneapolis, I think he goes through and, like, we'll break down each draft pick on tape.
That's awesome. It's amazing.
But I will say this, though, guys, there are other teams that are worse, which is like, you hear it and you're like, man, really?
Yeah.
There are organizations.
And what do their records look like? Out of curiosity.
Well,
you don't have to name
or
the team.
Are they the old family? Like, I always see, like, the old
Steelers,
family
Giants in this.
There's a recent Super Bowl champ within the last 5 years or so that is considered one of the most difficult to work with. And you know, there's a couple. There are two small market teams I can think of off the top of my head that you would think would be really easy, and they're really, really difficult. So it's a lot of, you know, there's so many reasons for it. But as we said, if Ryan Poles is truly in charge, and again, I do think Ryan Pace had a lot of say, if not all say, in how this stuff went. I'm hopeful that Ryan Poles will send us in a bit of direction where you guys will get to know him a little bit better and get to understand some of the decisions he made a little better. The other thing too is, again, really, really early impressions, and we're going to get to sit down with Poles and Eberflus next week in Florida, is I get the vibe that, like, Eberflus, not that he's going to dislike talking to the media, but I think he's going to be very measured. Like, I think Matt Nagy like took pride in that being that voice. And I don't think that I don't see Eberflus as somebody who that's very important to him. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I think that Eberflus is just so football. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yes.
Yeah. So, like, just judging by the combine press conference and things like that, I just, like, you guys might watch a Thursday presser of him at Hallis Hall and be like, really? Like tell us something. Like, I don't know if he's gonna be that guy, but that might open up more opportunities for Poles to kind of fill in some of the gaps, or a Luke Getsy, you know,
right,
or an Alan Williams, or some of these other guys to kind of fill in the gaps, to allow for that. Because again, I always tell people in the organization, I go, I want to tell stories. Like, that's why I got into this business. I want to tell your stories, right?
That's like, the best.
You know, if you guys are doing poorly, I'm going to still try to find that one guy who's doing well. Like, last November, I wrote about DeAndre Houston Carson, right?
We love him here.
I love those stories.
Guys.
Love those kinds of stories. So
I said that on the air. I swear, I go, we don't even know who this kid is, but he shows that even before you were on this, we were talking about him earlier. I think it's one of the tremendous signings, because, you know, on tape, this guy loves the game of football.
It matters,
and is always in the place he needs to be. He might not make the tackle, but he's there, and his effort is never in question. Thus, you could see this culture change Let's talk about that. Do you already see and look at these players? You've been around this team, so you have stories you can't even share on the air about some of these players, what they've said as they're walking off the practice field. You get a vibe. I've been around the game my whole life. It slips out. You could tell. But there's a level of integrity that you have, and I respect that. That being said, can you feel, obviously you haven't been on the field yet, but can you feel with these signings that all of these players are fitting a certain type of category for this culture that Eberflus is now directing here?
Yeah, I think you can see it. You know, it's going to feel so different because there's just like, I was thinking there. So we got this, they're having a mini camp in a month.
Yep.
Right, the week before the draft. And I was in my head thinking like, all right, who are we going to want to request as like a media group? Like, all right, Roquan, Fields, obviously, David Montgomery, Eddie Jackson, Jalen Johnson, Cody Whitehair. Like, those are kind of your core returning guy. Robert Quinn, right?
Gotta be Quinn.
Yeah, but outside that group, like, and Darnell Mooney, right? So 8 guys right there.
There you go.
Everybody else, like in terms of offense, defense starters, pretty much is going to be brand new. So it's going to be a total world of change. And I do think if you just look at the signing so far, it is, and I'm going to use the cliche here. I'll never write this in a story, but I'll use it with you guys. It's chip on their shoulder guys, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
And Potsy talked about that. He wants guys that have motivation. So, you know, Lucas Patrick is like so humble and so excited, but he knows this is a 2-year deal. They could go sign JC Tretter tomorrow. Like he understands that. So he's motivated. Justin Jones, 2-year deal. Like he gets it. Nick Morrow coming off an injury. 1 year, you got one shot to prove to the league what you can do. Quan Muhammad, like 2-year deal. Probably, I think right now he's the biggest money maker of the group. He's like, all right, new team. Can I show out? Can I take advantage of who's out with me? So I think like you're seeing all of these guys are fitting that. It's their second contract or third, I think, for Quan. And Morrow, I think, signed a 1-year deal. But you get the point. They're young. They want that long. They want that cash.
Yeah.
And I think that fits like what we've heard from Ryan Poles. Like he respects that. Philly, talk about that love for football, right? And just like I think that's important too, is trying to make sure you're getting guys to do that. And I want to make sure I say it's not that Ryan Pace wasn't targeting guys like that. If you look back to some of Ryan Pace's free agency runs, there were a lot of times those guys on that second contract. But in the end, it was, we have to go all in right now because we got to get Virginia a championship and we got to save our caps.
Yeah.
And
there also was.
We don't have to do a whole like relitigation of like that. But there was a moment in the Pace era where he was targeting similar type players to what Ryan Poles is doing, but Ryan Poles is doing it to start.
Right.
He's setting the foundation right now with these guys to try to help build around. So, you know, culture-wise, it's going to take a long time, I think, to really feel it because you just like, even though those 8 guys I mentioned, right? Who's going to be here in 2023 of those 8 guys?
Yeah,
not many.
I think you could throw Travis Gibson in there.
I was going to say him too.
Yeah.
He's someone I'd like you to interview because I think
real quick, Phil, before we move off of that, I think what this compares to for me, Kevin, and this might be something interesting even to look back at, is that Minnesota game when everybody was out on defense and it was just a bunch of young guys playing. Phil and I were texting each other during the game. I'm like, doesn't this just feel different? Like these guys want it. Like
completely different.
Eddie Jackson's not out there doing his, loafing shit and all this stuff. I'm like, it's a bunch of hungry guys out there that want to be noticed, and that you could just feel the difference. And that's what I think.
I said it was my favorite game.
It was. It just
in the last 4 years, and that's
agree.
Playoffs include. I'm sorry to cut in, but I said this earlier tonight too, just thinking of it and comparing it to exactly what Shayne is saying and what you're seeing. And I think it deserves to be a story. These guys are on 2-year prove it hungry deals. They could be the impetus, the fucking rocket fuel to set a culture of winning because when you get guys that love the game, that aren't got money in their pocket, and Charles Leno decides to be the king of penalties and loaf, Eddie Jackson gets paid, loaf, Tariq Cohen, we can go down the cultural list. There's certain things and factors. Do you love the game? Like Cars was talking about Malik from Liberty when he has his pro day and he throws these, you could just see this kid loves football. It just jumps out at you. So there is something to these signings that maybe Joe from Des Moines and Jim, who are these motherfucking guys? They suck, but they, I don't know, but they end up becoming that. What did you call it, Shayne? That fabric, the fabric players.
Yeah,
that you build off, and then you get a great draft, and all of a sudden these guys are growing in a culture.
DeAndre
together.
Houston Carson is. He's a fabric guy. He's never gonna cash in big time, but you need guys like that. And the Bears have not had enough of those guys under Ryan Pace. It's been huge signings, big trade ups, and then
Jasper Horsted.
Yeah,
but he should have been fucking playing so much more, right, Cars?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, but I mean, like, his whole thing has always been, I overpay and then I swing and miss in the draft, right? And what we see from these guys, and Kevin, you're kind of alluding to it, like, none of these guys have been signed for more than 2 years. These are all 1-2 year guys. It really looks like he told us in the beginning, we're going to build through the draft, we're going to do the right way. And kind of with your Dozier tweet earlier today, when everyone's like, oh my God, this is it. You're right. It's not the excitement, but he kind of told us we're going to do that. We're not going to shortcut this. We're going to do this right. I think if you look at the list of people that you named, Fields, Mooney, Roquan, and Jalen are the only guaranteeds that'll probably be here in 3 years. There are other pieces that, depending on how it all flows, but we have no idea what this team's going to look at like, because it doesn't seem like Poles and Cunningham and Flus are fans of this roster as it's constructed whatsoever. Would that be a fair assessment at this point?
Yeah, you know, I got a bunch of tweets and questions about James Daniels because the money he got was not really exorbitant. You know, I was kind of told $8 to $10 million per year.
Yeah.
He turned out to be in that range, but it wasn't a lot of guarantee. It's a short-term deal. So people are like, well, why didn't they keep him here? And I felt bad. I was kind of flippant. I said, because he didn't fit. Like they have a vision, obviously. And you know, we might find out down the line that they tried to get this guy. You know, there were reports about Brian Allen, you know, for example. Like we might find out later on they wanted to find this guy, but they just, you know, Matt Eberflus mentioned they build these profiles for every position, and they just want guys right now that fit those specific profiles so they can implement what they want to do. And look, sometimes it's going to be guys that have familiarity. It's why you're seeing the Getsy guys come in. You know, Quan, who played for Eberflus, and Byron Pringle, who Ryan Poles knows well. And that's okay. Like this thing, you know, it's different than when Pace got here because of the quarterback spot, right? Because like you don't want this thing to take 4 years. Like you want it, you want to, you want at the end of the 2022 season, you want to feel really, really good about Justin Fields and then attack. Take all that money you have. You're going to have more draft picks next year. You're going to have a first-round pick. You go. Like, that's the ideal situation. I mean, of course, you know, I don't even want to say that, like, yeah, maybe Justin Fields pulls a Joe Burrow, but, like, I don't think you can even think about it in those terms. I think you got to look at it. This is I think my buddy Adam Hogue has used this before. It's a transitional year for the offense. Let's see, you know, I'll take you guys behind the curtain a little bit. I was trying to figure out what to write this week. And this time of year, I was going back, right, what did I write like the second week of free agency last year, year before? Well, I usually do a depth chart, right? So I'll go whole depth chart, and Johns and I will kind of give our analysis on each position. You know, here are the guys, here's what they still need. I couldn't even make a depth chart. Like I got to offensive line, and I said, well, wait a second. I don't know who the left tackle is yet. I don't know who the right tackle is yet. I don't know who the right guard is right now. And then I got to linebacker. I said, I don't know who I know you have Roquan. He's probably going to be the will. You got Morrow, who seems like he could be a good strong side guy. Like
Oh, you're not loving Noah Dawkins, Kevin?
No Thomas is my guy. Yeah, but who's your Mike? And then you get to corner, and it's a complete disaster.
Yeah.
So I go, we're gonna have to push this depth chart story into April when they finally have guys that can fill in. And again, we're hopefully Poles next week is a little bit more. You know, I kind of get from a competitive standpoint why he doesn't want to say where he wants to put Tevin Jenkins and Larry Borum right now, because maybe he didn't want to let other GMs know. If he says Jenkins our left tackle, right? Everyone else know, well, they don't need a left tackle.
Yeah.
If he says Jenkins is our right tackle, Larry Borum's our right guard, well, guess what? Every agent of a left tackle's doing, right? They're jacking up the price when Ryan Poles calls. So as frustrating as it is for me and probably for you guys, because you just want to know, I kind of give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. First time, wants to be a little bit extra cautious. Maybe we'll get more next week, but that's where this team's at right now. That's why they have so many more guys. There are going to be 10 more Dakota Doziers.
Oh yeah.
And guess what? Here's the thing. If 2 of those Dakota Doziers turn out to be really good,
right?
You have I said this when free agency started. Find your Akeem Hicks,
right?
Because that was Pace's best free agent signing,
right?
Find that guy.
Is there any way he comes back to your
man?
He fits these categories.
Yeah, it's so funny too, Phil, because you looked at the interior defensive linemen in free agency. The top 2 are Larry Ogunjobi and Akeem Hicks.
Exactly.
So
they went out for Ogunjobi, which told me, all right, they're passing on Hicks.
Yeah.
Because I think I've shown everybody Akeem Hicks could dominate at 3 technique.
Oh yeah. I mean,
oh my God.
And you guys know when he's healthy and he's in there, there's nobody can stop him.
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah,
he's an interesting one, Kevin. You've been around him.
Yeah, he's certain Akeem Hicks is he's very smart and he's very calculated, and he knew when he was talking to us about how this was the end. He knew there was going to be a new GM and head coaching. So I feel like he wasn't even giving himself the opportunity. I think he just wants out. And then the way that his time last season ended was just not ideal.
Embarrassing.
And you talk about the culture, you talk about again, there's probably stuff that there's multiple sides to those stories, of course. And we haven't really heard from Akeem what happened in those final 2 games. But I know what happened. Yeah, it just feels like he knew, he knows, and somebody else is gonna take him on. But look, he does fit a lot of what this team's looking for. I just don't think that he's if you're gonna sign a 31-year-old who's missed as much time as he has in the last 3 years, I feel like there's somebody else. I can't give you a name. I don't have a name, but there's just somebody else that probably is a better fit for what these 2 guys want.
Kevin, do you think that there's any chance that they let this play out? And I'm always the guy that reads into every press release that they put out or whatever. And he said we can't sign Larry Ogunjobi today. Do you think that it's in play that they're just going to kind of let this heal and maybe he gets to a point and maybe bring him back on a 1-year deal? Not the original type of money that they signed him to, but do you think that that's something that's still in play?
Look, Tyreek Hill got traded to the Dolphins today. Yeah. I don't think anything can happen.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting point because and again, we'll get. I'm really, really interested to hear Ryan Poles describe this whole thing when we talk to him next week. But you could tell that was his number 1 target, Larry Ogunjobi. I mean,
right.
He and Matt Eberflus, that was their guy. They were going to build this around him. And what was interesting was Larry Ogunjobi had a similar situation in college where he went to Charlotte, which was starting its entire college football program, and they used him as a guy they wanted to build around. Obviously, it's different because there's already a Hallis Hall. There wasn't even a Hallis Hall at Charlotte. There's a lot of differences, but just that basic element of we trust this guy, that we want the rest of the players to watch how he works and watch how he performs his craft. You can see it. So yeah, like I there's a possibility down the line.
The way the verbiage was, George Berlissimo on our network and Shayne were pointing out today, and you could see the disheartened in the. I thought his, and you can extend on this. I thought Ryan Poles' announcement was a real showcase how disappointed he was. It was real transparent, and I wasn't used to such truthfulness and how everybody. Now, maybe it was because of what you're saying. It was their big signing, and they had this big plan, and he failed the physical, so you saw that transparency. Or is this what this GM is for the Bears and the fans? Because that will be exciting, because I read in that announcement how disappointed they are. But to Shayne and George's point, it does say not today, kind of leaving that cracked door with old Ryan Pace peeking out of it. That picture. Anyway, but
it's
is there a possibility?
There is. The problem that they're going to face is, without knowing, I'm speculating here, but I'm guessing the agent was like, he's fine.
Okay.
So, like, right.
What was the fail? Did you ever find out? Was it the foot?
I would imagine it's something to do with the foot, but the thing is like, there was, to come to that agreement, the Bears had to feel a certain way, and the only way they could get that information was from Ogunjobi's representatives. So it's very possible that Ogunjobi's representatives and the Bears see his health situation differently. And the Bears' decision cost him a lot of money. And it's not, I don't want to say that I think the Bears made the wrong decision. I'm just laying it out like the reality. I get it. So again, I don't know this for certain, but it's, if they want to bring Ogunjobi back, I could see they might have to mend a fence or two potentially, because obviously those two, they wouldn't have, Ogunjobi side wouldn't have agreed to this deal if they knew, it's such a rare thing.
Have you seen, it's happened before. Yeah, and I was struggling to find who it was.
Very rarely. It's a very
Drew Brees with Nick Saban.
Yeah, that was a big.
Fails the physical with Miami, passes with the Saints. Kevin.
Yeah.
You think you have regrets there in Miami?
Yeah.
No, they're fine.
And Phil, you brought up a good point about that statement, because you did kind of really feel like how much that meant to Poles, and he made sure to point out how tough that day must have been for Larry Ogunjobi. Yes. I remember at a combine one year, it was the year they cut Pernell McPhee, and we're asking Ryan Pace, how difficult was that for you? Because while we all knew it was coming, we all understand it. Nobody's saying that you shouldn't have cut him. That was your guy. That was your first free agent signing, and he kind of. Ryan Pace was just very, he wasn't callous. I don't want to make it come off that he was callous, but from a public persona, he wanted to make sure, like, this is the business. This is just what we have to do. And I kind of was hoping with that question to get him to say, you know what, I love Pernell. He was my guy. And that was just one of the most difficult things I've ever had to do, was to say goodbye to him, even though we both knew it was coming. Like, I was just trying to get that, but Pace just, she preferred not to go there. And maybe Ryan Poles will be a little bit more open about certain things, both positively and negatively, for everybody. Again, as we talked about at the top, it makes the fan base feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more excited, because I go back to that 2016 press conference. There was no reason to feel good about the Chicago Bears. Yeah. But somehow that day, Ryan Pace kind of made people feel good about Chicago Bears. There's no reason, Justin Fields is the reason to feel good about the Bears right now. But Ryan Poles can be the voice. He can be the guy that really puts out this message. And I think he did a great job of it at the combine. The intro presser is tough. Those things are like, they're so scripted. Oh my God.
The fans were ripping this guy for getting emotional. And I'm like,
yeah.
Can you imagine yourself taking over and being the GM of a freaking NFL team, and all the hard work, the tape and the study and your career, and then you try it out. I mean, it's like a Disney fucking movie. You try it out as an undrafted, made it to the final cut.
Yeah.
You have a contract with your name on it as a player, and now you're writing the contracts. To me, yeah, he deserves. I think Bears fans, those are meatball fans, I call them.
And I'll tell you guys this too about that day. Those two were completely different when we got to talk to them off to the side. And I'm saying in a good way. Like, you could tell that was just not uncomfortable is like a tough word because they were so honored, right? But it was, as you said, it was very emotional. It was very emotional for them. And it's just a very buttoned up setting. And we're in this big auditorium and they're passing the mic around. And then we sit down with these guys. You know, it was Johns and me and Herb and Joe Lewis, who do a great job on the beat as well, the Barber Chair Network.
Oh, yeah, my boy, Herb Howard.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. And so the four of us were just sitting with Poles, and we sat with Flus, and we're just kind of talking. And we asked them some questions on the record, but we just kind of talked to them, and it was totally different. And you can say, and I thought Poles, that version of Ryan Poles, we saw that at the Combine. Like you could tell he was in his mode. He was ready to go. He was ready to scout. He was ready to start, doing his work. So I you hope that put on the type of, optimism and excitement about what's next, because it's just, look, guys, this year's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. And to me, everything's about Fields, right? Like so much, I should say everything. So much of it next season is about Fields. And you're building this program. But there's going to be a lot of growing pains next year. And unless Fields has like a miraculous jump and somebody else on offense, if they can find if there's
another Jamar Chase.
I was just going to say, if they find the second round version of Jamar Chase, then we can start, talking about having some fun. But it's going to be challenging. It's going to be a lot of challenging. I tell you what, if you guys come to Halisol for training camp, go. Actually, not you guys. You guys know the roster, so I'm not worried about you guys. But for other fans, you're going to have to pay attention to that 90-man roster, because there's going to be so many new players out there.
Well, wasn't that the exciting part? Like when to your point, like that first one was a little jumbled, but the Bears put out that video, I felt like a week or two later, and it was Poles and Cunningham sitting down with all the room in the scouts, right? And they're watching clips, and they're starting to break down, which is, again, something we've never seen, right? Like we used to see Ryan Pace and he'd show all his computer screens that when he was drafting from home. But like, you got a sense that, like, in a way that they're like, this is fine, we have to do this, but I have work to do. So let me just wrap this up, and then we've got to go do this. It just feels like, they're not in a rush. It feels like they know what's in front of them, exactly what they, and they've got this idea of where they want to go. And unless, like, everybody was always complaining about Armstead, right? Whether he's going to be here. And if Armstead was willing to take $12 million a year, absolutely. But they're not going to go blow $15, $17, $20 million a year in a guy that would fill a position, but they can't, they're just not going to make those leaps of faith. There was a news today that there's a right tackle from Pittsburgh that they saw the value and they weren't going to match that value. It was in the James Daniels range. It just feels like, face-to-face or in that press conference wasn't necessarily the best, but everything afterwards seems like they're ready. They know, they've been prepping. They're just ready to go and do whatever's necessary. Is that kind of a correct, or am I too hopeful?
I think, this is going to be a bit of a cop-out, but I'm going to say this. There's no guarantee that what the Bears are doing right now is going to work.
Oh, yeah.
But guess what? What the Vikings are doing right now, there's no guarantee that's going to work.
Exactly.
What the Browns did, what the Broncos did. I mean, this has been the wildest month we've ever seen in the NFL. They're just like, there isn't that blueprint. Nobody thought this moment last year the Bengals were going to do what they did. Nobody thought at this moment in 2018 that the Bears were going to do what they did that year. So there's just, I think right now I try really hard to just focus on the process, which I know sounds like a little like trust the process kind of cliche stuff. But like I understand the process they're going at. I think it's an interesting way to build the roster. I, like you guys, I love the draft. Love the draft. I'm doing these mock draft machines and I'm like shaking my computer. I'm like, give me more draft picks.
Yeah.
I love it. And
George will have 40, do a mock draft and he'll trade down 38 times and he'll have the entire 6th round. And yeah.
By the way, how are you guys allowed to do this at night when Barlissimo? What time is it out there?
Well, he doesn't usually come on Keeping It 100. He does.
He's in the chat room all the time. Yeah, we're obsessive. We're obsessive. I don't know if that shows up. Like it's a problem. There's a support group that we get together on.
This is we have almost 600 fans watching us live.
When I met Barlissimo in London.
Yes.
And he'll remember the player. But he said he broke up.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Who was the offensive lineman that you just broke down to me at the bar? And I was like, should the Bears hire this guy?
Yeah.
Is this the next assistant offensive line coach? I love it. So I like that. And that's why I like the draft. And Phil, it goes all the way back to what you're saying at the top, right? Like I know that you guys are going to be breaking down the tape of whoever they take in the 6th round, right?
Exactly.
I know you're going to be breaking down the 15 undrafted rookies. So I love to try to find ways to tell different stories about those guys.
Those are the
you
best.
Guys continue to get to know them because I understand like the draft is all about hope. And it's like, and you never know if that 5th round receiver is going to be Darnell Mooney. Like you just don't. I mean, I remember when they picked Darnell Mooney, I'm scrolling through Dame Brugler's draft guide. I couldn't find him anywhere.
There's hope, guys. There's hope.
We hope there's hope. Like that's the story of football. So even like I get so fired up. There's another network that just started and they're analyzing and Aaron Rodgers resigns. Oh, that's 2 losses for the Bears. That isn't Phil. I'm not built like that. That's not how this game of football works. My father has taught me long ago. This is a odd-shaped ball, and it bounces funny. And when you find those hungry animals, my father said it. This football team was a bunch of PUSSYs. They're all getting paid. A coach who's a player's coach, the locker room. They don't have a direction. You didn't have a competition. We lived it. I'm not going to go all the way back into a rant, but there's something to be said, and surprises always happen. Historically, the worst has gone to first every single year. I think it's a crazy number, or was like 27 out of 29 years. It was worst to first in every division. It happened. I forget the whole stat. I'm not a
Jake Delhomme was a Super Bowl starting quarterback for crying out loud. I mean, absolutely.
If you get that right chemistry and you listen, I always have said the team is a reflection of the head coach. Watch this. I think this is the most important thing. And I want you're my guy holding the baton, Kevin. This quote right here is the anti-Matt Nagy. Listen to what he says here.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape. That's just the way it is. You want to know how I coach football? Look at the tape.
That's it. Look at my player. I'm going to take an undrafted kid. My roommate in college, my teammate, Wayne Crabette. He was undrafted. I remember going over as a sophomore, junior, to watch him go one-on-one in training camp. His number was like some crazy, like 96 or some crazy jersey number, right? Versus Aaron Glenn, who's now the defensive coordinator. And he burnt the shit out of Glenn once, twice, 3. And all of a sudden you start believing. These things are found. You can't measure a heart.
Cooper Kupp is the greatest recent example, right?
Exactly.
Like,
well,
he didn't run fast, Kevin. He didn't have a great 40, Kev.
Yeah. Well, I think with Eberflus, I'm glad you played that clip because I think that there's all these questions about like, well, what's a guy with loafs? How's he going to handle this generation of players?
Right.
You know, are they going to buy in? All these questions. And I get it. But here's my thing. This guy would not be where he is if players did not buy in, right?
Exactly.
Like you don't become the defense. You can't be in this league for as long as he's been in this league with the position that he's had as a defensive coordinator if your guys aren't buying in. And the Colts defense, we know about the numbers, the takeaways, and the success they had. You have to buy in to put up those numbers too. So, like, I don't really worry. Like, look, listen, did I make a few jokes in my head about certain players that might not enjoy his system? Of course.
Yeah.
Like, there's some guys in the team
the number one.
that they're not going to, that might struggle with that a little bit. But, like, I am not questioning the whole buy-in thing because obviously players have bought in. It's proven to work. My questions about Eberflus are just going to be my questions for any first-time head coach.
Exactly.
Clock management, late game stuff, and just being a leader. And just like making sure that you're overseeing things and that the team is going in the right direction. And it's going to be weird too, guys, because like. I'm really interested to see how Eberflus responds to questions about Justin Fields.
Yes.
Because we're only getting Luke Getsy once a week. He's the one we want to talk to, obviously. We only get him once a week. We get Eberflus 5 times a week. So that's going to be a really interesting dynamic. We had it a little bit with John Fox in 2017 when all he wanted to know was about Mitch Trubisky, but that was different because we all knew what was happening. Right? We all knew what was coming at the end of the season. This is different. This is the start. So, like, Eberflus, he obviously understands quarterback play. He knows quarterback play. When it's a Monday morning after a game and Fields threw a great touchdown or threw an interception, like, how is Eberflus going to respond? Because we're all going to want to understand how it broke down. And I really hope, for your guys' sake and for my sake, the answer is not you're going to have to ask Luke.
Or I have to go back and look at the tape, right? Like,
because that was a nice thing about Nagy was, it's a quarterback-driven league, and his first year here was all about Mitch, and Nagy was really open that first year. Go back to Trestman, 2013. I know people don't. I'm sorry I said the spooky word, Mark Trestman, but
that was a fun year to watch, though. You're absolutely right.
That was my first year covering the Bears, and I was like, this guy's great because he gives really, really detailed answers. That stopped when things went awry in 2014, similarly the way it stopped with Nagy when things went awry in 2019. When these coaches get under this pressure and they convince themselves, or someone higher than them convinces them, that, hey, you're being too open and we're struggling. Those things to me do not match.
I see.
Those do not line up to me. Like, I'm just like,
well, that's what I think is the difference here. And I don't know Eberflus, the head coach, but he dropped the mic when you and your colleagues, I don't remember, said, are you going to call defense? No, I'm here to be the head coach.
Yeah.
That's the mic drop for me. I've always said that about every Bears coach. You can't be worried about the plays. You have to see the players. And when you see the players, you know that your standard of accountability, the loafs, the hits, that culture is over and over. You preach that. I've been a head coach. If I treat Khalil Mack one way and this guy another way, I failed. I got to treat everybody the same. And if you make that kind of emphasis, those players are going to only see themselves be successful. It's a guy that allows neglect to happen that you lose, because the Eddie Jackson that's whispering during the meeting, he got paid. He doesn't care. That's on you to say, shut the fuck up and sit out or get out. Everybody, right? That's what a real head coach. Matt Nagy was a fraud. I was the first guy to call this guy out because I saw that it was about Matt, not about the players. And that's where it is. This guy has passed all these tests for me. As a football guy, I'm so excited to see what he does with the clay. And to your point, one other thing, I got to say, Kevin Fishbain has been outstanding tonight. We got to have you on more often. I get goosebumps thinking about it because You're just a great human being. I'm not blowing smoke. I truly tonight finally getting to see you in person. It's just like an interview. I can watch all the tape forever, but when I get a guy in front of me, I know the kind of integrity that they have. That's the advantage these GMs have. And you could tell who's a good one and who's not, because they find if they love the game of football. But I wanted to say Shayne Marsaw had a giant storm in his area. They lost power. The generator went on, but Spectrum, his internet, has whacked out. So he wanted me to personally apologize to you, Kevin, because he was having such a great time. The smartest man, Shayne. He's working on getting an update to his internet. But that being said, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but can you answer a couple questions from the fans?
Of course.
And one favor from me. We always ask everybody to do a station ID so I can add you into our promos. And honestly, please follow Kevin Fishbain. Sign up for The Athletic. We joke about Adam John. I've never had Adam Johns on our show. He avoids us, and we joke about that. But in all honesty, Adam seems like a funny dude. I think he should come on here and have some fun going back and forth with me. It'll be a lot of fun. But
I got to, Phil, real quick before your questions. How great was Mark Potash?
He was phenomenal. Did you see him on this show?
I did. That's why I asked you, because I saw that he was on, and
love that man.
I'm glad you guys, and this is why I know you guys are the real ones, because you appreciate Potsy.
Oh my God!
It has everything to do with the tube television that sits in the back of his office.
That's the cherry on top for me. Cars loves that thing. It's like the old bowling alley scoreboard.
Absolutely.
The Bud Light.
All right, I just want to
listen. One thing. No, since you brought him up.
Yeah.
Back to James Daniels. Mark Potash and him have this back and forth, and I'm telling you. No, seriously. That's when I knew that's not a guy for polls.
Yeah.
That weird back and forth pissing match of Potsy's like wondering what the fuck is he talking. I'm dead ass. He seems like I loved James Daniels' tape. He was clearly the best offensive lineman on the football team last year with immense ceiling. But that to me said, this isn't a guy that's going to buy in or kind of be that, leader of standard that you're trying to build. That's why they moved on. I'm just saying that's Potash's interview with him got out the real truth. Anyway, Jackle, we got some questions from the fans. Jackle hasn't been doing his job. Look at him. Have you met him yet?
No.
No.
Mr. Fishbain, how we doing?
You did secure Kevin, and that deserves some credit because you've scheduled this on, and now you guys can meet in person.
Hello, sir.
But Kevin's been great. Anybody? They didn't have any questions.
I mean, you guys were firing them off as we went. You know, there was some couple questions about Justin Fields in the chat. Just media.
Yeah, he answered a bunch of them.
Yeah,
in the context. How about this? Khalil Mack trade. Were you shocked? Do you get it? I was desperately hurt by it. I've gotten over it. I understand it. But where were you on the Khalil Mack trade?
All right. Well, you want to hear a story that brings in my Northwestern fandom?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
I actually, I was off that day, and I was with my little guy. We were hanging out in the basement, and I was watching Northwestern in the Big Ten tournament. They lost, or was that what that game? Was that what those? Yeah, it was another bad loss. I was just so fed up with them. And my mother-in-law comes over, so she takes him, and so I'm just like on my phone and I'm scrolling. I'm like, I'm going to tweet about Northwestern. I try not to tweet about Northwestern basketball very much because if you don't have anything nice to tweet, don't need to tweet anything at all. And I decide I take some time and I'm looking up some statistics and I send my tweet out. 30 seconds later, I see the Schefter tweet. And I had buddies on the beat, off the beat, texting me like, that's going to be your least read tweet ever. This Northwestern, I sent a text to somebody in the athletic program. I said, no one's going to see my criticism of the basketball team because of what happened. Anyway, so I thought that was kind of funny. And I did go back to work. And it was, again, because there really are no quote unquote off days unless you're actually unplugged on vacation. I was just, helping out with doing some childcare that day. But yeah, my reaction was, I get it. Like I kept throwing in caveats when everybody asked. I said, I don't know what their philosophy is on dead money, because if they don't want to deal with it, then they're not going to move him. But if we're now seeing more and more general managers are willing to put up with dead money, if it means they can move on, create cap space, and get draft picks. So I just didn't know. I had no idea their view on dead money, and they kind of showed us that they, I think getting the second round pick is crucial. The fact that the Chargers are paying off the rest of that is big. So I don't know. I think that when Khalil Mack is healthy, he's still Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
I don't know for how much longer that's going to be. And the healthy thing is a big if. You just don't know. So it's one of those things that when it happens, you're like, whoa, and you're just kind of processing all of it. But then you step back and you look at it and you're like, I get it. It makes sense. Like, exactly. They're not worried about the dead money. They're building this thing. They needed that draft pick. He was the guy. If you wanted a draft pick, he was the one to move. So I understood it. And again, next week, I'm really looking forward to hearing Ryan Poles kind of take us inside that. And I'm interested to hear what Matt Eberflus has to say, because this is where coaches, in my experience, they will never admit this publicly, but I think coaches struggle with the whole idea of rebuilding.
Right.
Or even transitioning, right? Just this idea of
totally agree.
I know everybody wanted Thomas Graham to play more last year, and everybody wanted,
I did too.
Yeah, and I totally get it. But the way these coaches are wired, it's all about who's better at practice. Like, they are just, and I'm not saying it's the right way to do it at all.
Right.
That's just the way these guys are wired. So Eberflus, that must have been interesting. I would love to know what that conversation was like. And again, that's going to be a question we ask, because you go into Matt Eberflus's office, a guy who did not have the pass rushers in Indianapolis to do what he wanted to do. And you say, hey, Matt, welcome to town. We're trading Khalil Mack.
Exactly.
It's just like, I'd be curious.
These guys wanted to trade Robert Quinn, Shayne, and Cars, and I flipped out over a phone call. I'm like, if they do that, I'm fucking done. I was going.
I don't know if he flips out over everything, so don't really worry about it.
Don't trade two pass rushers.
I still think he's on the market. Absolutely.
I don't.
If you're in the thought that they're going to be that bad in 2022, and you're going for 2023,
I don't want to get into a debate, but I don't think you can say we're going to try to compete and then trade out a guy that's broke 101-year sack record on.
I don't think they're trying to compete though this year. Like this is your Jamar Chase thing. This is your let's get a top 10 draft pick to pair with Fields to go up and above, right? Like,
this is a deep receiver draft. Really
right. Well, it's not Jamar, but I'm just saying, this is what they're doing is they're not putting an impetus. 2022 to 2023 doesn't matter. Yeah. Not that it doesn't matter. It does matter for Fields' growth. But if you're telling me that if I have Robert Quinn and I go 7-10, and I don't have Robert Quinn and I go 6-11 or 5-12, they're going to take the 5-12 because they're going to build through the draft. That's what it looks like.
That goes against what Kevin and I are saying. The coach can't say we're putting the best players on the field and go him. We can't just throw out they're going to go 7-11. They can't do that. So that's why I just think it's the wrong culturally. If you're trying to build a culture like you are, you can't then turn around and trade the other pass rusher.
Well,
but go ahead.
I'll say I got a mailbag coming out Friday, and I was asked this question, so you guys can skip it. When you read the mailbag, you can skim it, because I'm going to just tell you what I wrote, which is right now They don't need the cap space that would be freed up from trading him. And I do think, like, yes, if they got another, like for Quinn, I don't think you're getting a 2 right now.
You're getting a 3. Yeah.
You're getting a 3. Can you do something if you want to move up to the 1st? But I don't sense it that these guys want to do it. And the other thing with Quinn is he knows this system.
Exactly.
And so he seems to me like a guy that Eberflus want around. But what I will say for this, Halloween, right?
Yeah, trade deadline. I totally agree with that.
Is if he can be great and your team and you're 500 below 500, then at that point you get a 3 for him. So like again, it would.
Or you could possibly get a 2 or a 1 with a
desperate teams. You look at what Brown did last year for sure.
Hey, exactly.
So I think like I said, like I always like to present all this stuff with nothing surprised. You can't be surprised anymore. But I totally would. Like I would be more in favor of them keeping him for this year, and then you either trade him with a deadline, you try to trade him next March, or you cut him and get the cap space. But I think for now, it doesn't seem to be that much of a necessity to move him. But look, if somebody calls, so I'll give you 2. I think you gotta strongly consider that.
Here's my only thing, and then we'll move on. I'm not cutting you off, Cards. I just don't want to keep Kevin too long. We've already had a lot of his time, and I totally appreciate. Obviously, I
do have a question, Phil. When you're
hold on one second.
Yeah.
The value of a 3rd round pick is a lottery chance of finding another Robert Quinn. So to do that, you have it now. And Robert Quinn doesn't fit the Eddie Jackson, Eddie Goldman, the loafers. This guy plays with his hair on fire. So he would be the perfect guy to put a C on his chest, not rotate them like Mark Trestman and Matt Nack and the Fools. You put a C on that guy's chest, and he teaches these young players how to play the game as a Chicago Bear. That, to me, is moving forward more so even than getting a 3rd round pick. Even getting that. So that's my little stance. Jackal, one last question.
Absolutely.
Then I got him to do the station ID. Sure. And Kevin, I followed. I don't know if you check Instagram, but I do a lot of Instagram. But I also followed you on Facebook. If you could follow me back, I want to send you some swag, and I want to send you that intro because I
already
want
recorded
you to.
It, Phil. To send
I want
you, just so you know.
No, I want to send him the HD version.
Okay.
Not okay.
Have your guy email me because I like you, Phil, but I'm not letting you inside my Facebook.
There you go. Perfect. Look at
or
that.
Instagram.
We like Kevin even more.
On Instagram.
Smart choice.
Yeah. Sorry, fellas. I keep that one. I keep those very close to the chest.
Smart. No problem. I promise I won't stalk your Facebook. Go ahead.
So a lot of people are asking who you're liking with the draft coming up, and I know, is there anybody on the receiver tip that you feel in your mind that would best suit being a Bear?
It's a great question. And Phil, I hope you're not going to regret all the nice things you said about me. I don't have time to get into the tape until April usually.
That's fine.
It's just for me, I'm at this point, I'm really relying on scouting reports. And luckily though, I do think I have a little bit of a leg up on other guys in my field because I watch a ton of college football. As I talk about at the top, it's my favorite sport to watch. I love college football. So I watch a lot. So I loved watching David Bell, but to me, I don't know if he has the athletic makeup to be a 2nd round pick. He is receiver wise has so many qualities I really love. I don't know if he's going to fit what they're looking for with, it doesn't maybe not have that explosiveness to him.
Right.
From what I've read about George Pickens, from what I've read about the who's North Dakota State, Christian Watson, right?
Watkins, yep.
Watkins, yes. Yeah. So when I read about those guys, I was looking up the South Alabama guy today. See, he actually Jalen Tolbert, right? South Alabama. reading scouting reports and watching a couple of clips, like I was like, this guy's kind of interesting to me because I like the fact I know it was a small school, but I like that he was really productive, and I like that he's got some measurables. And I don't think you need a 4.29 guy with this offense. I think I want but you also don't want like a 4. Maybe we talked about this with Cooper Kupp, right? So some of the things with Tolbert that kind of was appealing to me. So. And then there's Sky Moore. There's all these guys. I got to watch all these guys to have a better answer. But I do think just those guys I listed right there, everything I've read about all of those guys to this point makes me feel good about picking a receiver in the second round, period, that they're going to find a good one.
They got 2 picks there, and you got to be excited. If you become a TTNL patron, I could give you my Facebook and you could stalk me. No, I'm just joking. You could see the tape as George, myself, my father, Shayne, Cars. We all bring out the all 22 of these college players. I see Christian Brown, Alec Pierce. That kid, his son special from Chicago area. These kind of players that you're looking for, I think they're going to look for an offensive lineman there and a receiver. Those are the 2 needs. We'll see. I'm excited about it. We're going to have another mock draft again this Sunday on Draft Mob. So that being said, we've taken his time, so much time, but hopefully we can have you on again during the draft. Maybe you could jump on after the selections, I'm sure you'll be writing and whatever, but at maybe day 3, you jump on, talk about what happened in round 2. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on it at some point. You've been tremendous. If you could just do us a favor and do the station ID, and that's real simple. Your name, however you want to introduce yourself, from the Athletic, former Northwestern Wildcat power forward, however you want. I'm keeping it on. I'm Kevin Fishbain.
Just know Olin Kreutz had to take like 7 or 8 takes to get it. So we want
how many did Akeem Hicks?
Akeem Hicks has the record. 11 takes.
13.
11. We always say 13 just to give him a hard time. Chris Zorich took 3 takes and needed a script. Yeah. He had to write a script down. But all it is who you are. Define yourself. I'm keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. The Tape Never Lies Network. So, yo, this is your guy, Kevin Fishbain from The Athletic. Check me out at Fishbain, whatever you want. I'm keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'm going to count myself down here, right? 3.
You're nervous? You're nervous?
Yeah.
I could give you a countdown. 3. Would you like that?
I'll give myself a countdown.
Go ahead. Yeah. Do you want to be isolated or you want us with you?
No, you guys can give me the moral support here.
Yes.
There you go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Kevin Fishbain here from The Athletic, Northwestern grad. Keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Boom. One take, man.
And that's why Western education is better than a Notre Dame education.
Yeah, well said, Cars.
How are they looking this year? Northwestern, the football team.
They need a quarterback, Phil. They need a quarterback. I mean, in Fitz, I trust, obviously.
Yes.
I'm really excited about the backfield. Cam Porter coming back from a torn ACL.
Yes. Cam.
They got some good recruits at receiver. I'm looking forward to seeing, but
that quarterback position, man.
Hey, the Cats used to be a quarterback factory.
Transfer portal?
Yeah, it might be Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. They got. I love.
They can't get anybody in Chicago, or is it the grades thing?
Well, they got a Brother Rice commit late this year, so he's going to be a freshman. Kind of excited about what he could be. But hey, the Bears could sign Trevor Siemian. So
that could
we're gonna
be.
Get to that. Oh yeah,
Trevor Siemian. I like Trevor Siemian, honestly. Maybe they move Foles for a pick.
Yeah,
that would be great.
We'll see. But no, I'm looking for. I every year I tell everybody, this is the year for the Cats. Never it. Well, they won the Big Ten West twice, so I should be thrilled about those experiences. But I'm excited for the season because just like you guys are excited for every Bears season, no matter what.
That's what you should be.
That's the beauty of being a fan, right? And I read this somewhere. I want to say it was a Joe Poznansky blog years ago. And it's just the simplest reason why we do what we do, why we're fans. Because sometimes they win, right? Like I always tell people that, like, your Western has broken my heart over and over and over again. The Bears have broken your guys' heart over and over again, but sometimes they win. And that's why we do what we do.
Shit.
Clip that, Sheri,
yes,
because that is a mic drop moment, because that is the story of my life. My week just flows better when the Bears are victorious.
Yes, sir, Phil.
He's Kevin Fishbain. I had the pleasure of going and seeing my business manager, Jim Larison. Shout out to him. Got me front row. Michigan versus Northwestern. Northwestern had this big lead, and Michigan came back to win. But I really, honestly, never had been in the stadium. It was such a great vibe, man. If you are in the city, big time college football being played there at Northwestern. Don't hate. I still remember, what was his name, Cars, in the Rose Bowl?
Darnell Autry.
Autry, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And listen, follow Kevin Fishbain. Let him know you saw him here on the air. Thank you, Kevin, so much. Shayne also wants to apologize again. He's so upset because he was having such a good time. But amazing guest, and thank you so much for your time. Give everybody our best, including your wife and your little guy there. Enjoy those moments, man. They last forever. So thank you for coming on. Hopefully we get you back, and Jackle will send you that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Give them your address because we want to send you swag. We promise we won't sit outside your house.
Business address, whatever you need. Hey,
If it helps,
thank you again, Kevin.
They don't live in state, so you're safe. They live out.
I live in Connecticut. I'm not
it's an okay thing.
I'm not going to sit outside.
I appreciate it, fellas. Thanks for the kind words, and thank you for having me on.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks. He's Kevin Fishbain. Great guest.
Hey.
Great. Jackle's. Look at Jackle's a little proud of himself, Cars.
As he should be.
I like when things work out. When he went cold on us with the internet, I was like, oh, no.
Jackle was like Angelo.
Then let me do what I hired to do.
I mean, look at him. He's all smiles. He's all happy. There's not
I don't know if that's
anger
the
behind
moment.
the eyes.
I'm not sure if that's the moment. All right,
Hey, listen. I don't blow smoke, even if he doesn't want to be my Facebook friend. Doesn't matter to me, Sheri.
He's gonna cry later, but we'll that'll be in the after show. It's fine.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
I get it. It's a crazy world out there. Trust me, I'm only crazy in my rants. What an amazing Mike Tenorelli, congratulations. Him and his wife are married. Are you guys still together?
Top of your fucking class.
I'm joking, Mike. All the best. I can't wait to see. I want to see if Tenorelli. Where's Sammy the Bull? Don't worry. We're getting ready for it.
First marriages are wonderful experiences. They really are.
Listeners. Oh my! Don't.
I'm kidding. Come on. Oh, that's where we're gonna draw the line.
I said, hey, oh baby, bring that fat ass over here. I wanna get it in my mouth.
I can only imagine the smells coming to that thing, but only imagine the smells coming to that thing, but
Jackle better do some shit. Jackle better do some shit. Jackle don't do shit. Jackle don't do shit now. Jackle don't do shit. Jackle don't do shit. Jackle don't do shit. Jackle don't do shit. Jackle better do some 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 shit. Jackle don't do shit.
Better do some shit.
He's leaning right.
Hold on.
Keeping myself standing.
Every week, Shayne threatens to bang somebody's mom, and we're gonna draw the line at my comment. I'm just saying, like, let's keep it 100 here, Phil. Let's keep it 100 here.
I just don't want
coming from the minivan, man.
I don't want bad energy on someone's first
And
marriage.
screw going to somebody. I'm going to bang your mom. That's what. Come on, really?
I yell at Shayne every day for that shit. I say, don't do that, Shayne.
Give me my voice. He knows I'm kidding. Come on.
No, he knows. I'm just saying. First marriages have not been good conversations for me. I'm just keeping it 100. But I don't want to comment on that. Plead the fifth.
All right, hey.
Anyway,
was in Chicago.
Jackal, your segment.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna do some shit. Let's rapid through this.
Yes,
We
sir.
didn't even let Sheri do her read yet. For God's sake. We'll do it right after this, then shout outs. Okay, Sheri? Let's get through Jackal doing shit. Claudio's at an auction. Shayne's power went out. He sent us a picture. Did you see his picture?
Yeah. He's not happy.
Shayne is probably
right now.
Spectrum outage reported.
Speed test 0.
There's 0. He's nothing. Listen. I'm sure Cars pulled the plug on Shayne. He's like, I don't want to hear you talk any shit about anybody's mother. And that's why Shayne is gone.
Okay, let's roll with that. That's
Yes. Shout out to you, Mikey T. But anyway,
Hey, that's awesome.
Go ahead,
Mikey T.
Go ahead, Cars.
No, go ahead, Cars.
I mean, sorry. Go ahead, Jackal. I'm sorry.
Not a problem.
I messed
You got him all flustered with the marriage comment. See what you did to him, Cars?
See what you did?
I got to do that more often. I got to remember how I did that.
What is your message?
All right, so say we get.
They should have hope. They should have hope.
We're gonna have hope. I hope Jackal and Cars are ready here. Here we go.
We trade Foles. We clean up like $8 million in cap space. I think it's like 2.6 in dead money.
Mm-hmm.
This whole Trevor Siemian talk. Would you guys like him coming? I know we touched on it briefly with Kevin. With Kevin here. But what are your guys' thoughts on him as a backup for Justin?
I think Foles is gone. Like, what trade, cut, whatever. I think he's a nice camp body. He's someone who's obviously played. Is probably no more than a spot starter at best. So there's no expectations for him. It would be nice to have someone experienced in the room, and they'll probably try to pair him with a rookie, later round pick or undrafted guy as well. So it's fine for me.
Okay.
I'm with Cars on this. I think there's a certain level of camaraderie I think a rookie and a quarterback should have. I don't see that with Nick Foles and Justin Fields. I don't know what Nick is doing per se in Luke Getsy's philosophy. Does he fit this kind of offense? I don't listen.
He seems to have a very specific type of offense that
exactly.
Yes.
I agree. And to me, Trevor, he's a backup quarterback. Trevor has shown me flashes. But, if I was assessing the two of them, I think Nick Foles is a better quarterback. But I think culturally, if you're starting something and there is this weird energy between Justin and Nick, then it's better to get Nick out of there, save that, you satisfy the fan base. And, I don't know. I don't know what their relationship is with Nick, but would I be surprised? I'm with Cars 100%. No.
Okay.
Trevor Siemian, there's a reason why they're talking to him.
Yeah.
And I think that reason will be what Cars said. They're going to move on from Nick.
I think it'd be nice to get something in return for Foles if we could, but I don't know if there's any market for that.
I mean, who knows, right? I mean, if you had told me 3 days ago or a week ago that two of the top 10 quarterbacks and some of the top wide receivers and Julio Jones would get cut, stranger things have definitely happened in the last 7 hours. So it for sure could happen. It depends on who. It's usually tougher with quarterbacks, though, before drafts, just because of that seems to be one of like, I don't know what that is, and that's better than what I know that is. So I'll take a shot there. But we'll see.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Tonight, talking Chicago Bears. If you're just tuning in, late night pillow talk with Sheri is coming up next.
Yeah, we got some talk in the comments here about, we never play Mark Rebele until Sheri comes on. And I hate to say it, but we've definitely played Mark Rebele all show today.
All show? What are we talking about?
Mr. Prophet, DJ Prophet.
DJ.
Yeah, I'm just
Is
letting
that
you know.
DJ Stunner?
Yes. Related? Are you like
Mark Rebele on the show just to perform live for Sheri's segment when she comes on? Go ahead, Jackal.
So we've talked about a few signings that the Bears have done in the past week. One of the guys we didn't get to is Claudio's boy and my boy, Mr. Blazingame.
There it is.
The fullback.
Fullback.
What are your guys' thoughts on bringing this big boy in? What do you think?
Well, there's a great story. I don't know if fans know, but
speak it.
Nick Morrow and Kari Blazingame, Claudio and Jackal's favorite Blaze. I don't know.
Second favorite. Definitely second. It's not their top. Not at all.
Claudio's probably a little bit more towards Mooney, but Blazing Game. And what kind of great name is that for a fullback?
Sound good.
Just follow Blazing Game. Anyway, I like the fact that they're making a fullback a priority where the last coach didn't come here to run the eye. We didn't figure out what he was able to run. That's the story. I think Blazing Game. Oh, back to Nick Morrow and Blazing Game grew up in the same town. They were friends. One went to Vanderbilt. The other went to a Division III program in Illinois. And now they're on the same team together. It's pretty crazy. The Cars would have to do the math to get to the NFL alone is crazy. But to be from the same town.
Oh, yeah. Less than a 100%. Less than that.
That should be a Fishbain story right there, because that is crazy. And now they have a picture of the two of them sharing jerseys, and that I like that story. But Blazing Game, back to him. This kid's a talented runner. When he was at Vanderbilt, he's getting in the eye. He was actually the tailback or the single back, and was able to run through. So he's got skills that I like. He also has a tenacity. He's a lead blocker. I think one of the fans said it, obviously, for the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry. And Derrick towers over him, which is hilarious. But Blazing Game has some qualities that I like in a fullback. And I think the name and the fact that he can run, and you're bringing a fullback into this. I mean, think of the times we've been destroyed, Cars, from the likes of John Kuhn.
What are we going to see, Phil? It's going to be play action. Like,
oh my God. Can you imagine?
The thing that gets me the most excited about it, and what frustrates me the most with Twitter, like when everyone's talking about the Cleveland Browns game, right? Like, we need to do offensive linemen, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but a Blazing Game as a proper fullback means no more JP Holtz. It means an extra blocker in the
exactly
extra body for all these things. We can't have shit all over Matt Nagy for how bad he was and then say like somebody else wouldn't do better. This guy, like, he's not going to be 100 carry guy. He's going to be probably 30 touches or so a year, but his impact in the run game and the pass game and blocking, this is a guy that's going to be a point of emphasis in all of those things and protection schemes that's going to help out. It's like fullbacks are guys, if they play it right, you have to love, like Kuhn, like who is so beloved.
Daryl Bob Christian, Daryl Johnson. Bob Christian was on this team.
Yeah.
For God's sake, we let him go.
So I'm excited for it because I think it means we're not going to see the RPO as much. We're going to see play action where Justin was clearly at his best last year. So I think it's a great It's an encouraging sign, right? That's
all I want is Eric Kramer breaking down offset eye action on a bob play,
fullback,
and the fullback's in the flat, the tight end runs the post, and it's 3rd and 2. It's like taking fucking candy from a baby, and it's there. It reverse out, fake the handoff. Fullback pretends he's going to block the end, dips underneath them, and you dump it down, and you get 6. Blazing game. As long as he catches the ball.
Look at again, kind of a lot of the things that Green Bay did last year with a power run game.
Exactly,
with Dylan and with Jones and swapping those things out. This is where we are going.
No more shotgun 4th and 1. Get in the eye.
You're going to see less shotgun overall, not even just at 4th down, right? Like,
oh my God,
you're not going to see empty set 30 times a game, right? Like,
oh my God, what?
I know.
I'm getting excited.
I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. We're going to look like a professional offense for
none of this, Cars. Let's throw curls. None of that.
I think, Phil, I'm glad you're sitting down. We might see slants this year. I'm just saying.
That would be sick.
Just slants. Oh,
shout out to you, Adam Rank. Look at that. No, slants. Come on. Even if you're a fan like George.
I'm just a fan.
We know, George. You got to be excited about slants. 3rd and 3. Yes, Peter. Let's not run Santa's sleigh. You know what I'm excited about most? David Montgomery, my guy. Okay, he hit it for 8. He ain't coming off the field.
Nope.
For 17 snaps.
Get behind Blazing Game on the next carry and get 7
Blazing Game off right tackle. David Montgomery fakes. David goes through seam. David burns linebacker. David catches ball. David scores touchdown. Jonathan Wood types out how David could have been Goliath, and he's gonna be wrong again.
Into obscurity.
Oh my God! I just projected into the future.
I like that, Phil.
I'm so excited because everybody's gonna write the Bears off. I'm just not that, and I'm not ever the meatball fan. Like every signing is great. It's everything has to be assessed to that culture line that I talked about. That's what I haven't seen since Ditka. Ditka came in and said, I don't give a fuck what school, where you were drafted, how much you make. This is what my expectation is. If you don't meet it, you're on the bench. Yeah. Kevin's right. How many of these motherfuckers are going to buy in? Good. Get out. If you could trade Khalil Mack, everybody's available.
But
everybody.
Phil, who in Indy was the most upset about losing Flus? Some guy named Darius Leonard. Yeah, like
star.
The guy who's like, this is what it is. The guys.
Thank you.
If you don't buy in, this is as meatball as I get. If you don't buy in, then I don't want you on my football team because you don't give a shit about it. If you buy in, that's how a guy like a Muhammad, right, goes from obscurity and goes and puts out a 7-sack season because he wants to be there, because he believes in that. He's going to put the work. As cheesy as it sounds, all sports are a thing of effort and go. Like if you don't, you can be as talented as you want, and if you don't put in the effort, you're going to be Jay Cutler all over again.
Exactly. Bro,
good call.
You read my mind. Jay Cutler's the perfect example of God given every bit of talent. There couldn't have been a more design. If Jay was on the show, I'd say it to him. Just like this. God created a quarterback. It was you. You just didn't love the game. You didn't understand the people that were supporting your talent and how important they were to get a pat on the back.
Yes.
To get a criticism on the side instead of everybody's hearing it. All these little things. As a head coach, it's your responsibility to understand. Huh?
Right.
Smoking Jay?
Smoking Jay.
Listen, I can go on and on again. But Cars exactly is speaking the truth. And until we live in a world, and everybody knows it, I'm going to be very careful with what I say politically. But there's people that are changing in order to be successful somewhere else. People want awards for everybody, even the kid that's over there digging in the grass and doesn't give a fuck about the game. Let's give him an award too. You've just taught that kid the worst possible lesson, that he's going to get a prize for fucking not paying attention. You can't do this. And
you have to encourage them to find what they want to be in, and giving them a trophy to just like, yeah, the kid wants to be an artist. Great. Celebrate that, but don't celebrate showing up. It's the bare minimum.
Yeah, exactly, Cars. And let's take it all the way to the professional level. And this is what analysts like, and he's from Connecticut. I coached against the kid. He's an immense talent, but it's this dude. What's his name? I just lost his name. Former Lions quarterback.
Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky. Dan Orlovsky doesn't get to call Matt Stafford an elite. He's amazing. Matt Stafford loses and doesn't get in the Super Bowl if Tart picks off the fucking ball. The whole fucking story changes. Okay, so don't give me what somebody is. Let's watch who they are, the leaders they are. Matt Stafford's a great talent. He's on a great football team. They won, but he is not the reason they won. Let's just stay there. And when Cooper Kupp is the impetus of why they win and why they won. And if you get to the level of football where you're getting paid, and we joke about this with Eddie Goldman, all these, Leno, if you don't love the game of football, it's going to show, and your team is going to tumble. So if the Bears lack the integrity or the strength to say, this ain't going to happen, you're not going to go against our culture. Don't do that. We don't want any problems. No, you're doing it wrong. And that's where we're going to see. And I feel like Eberflus, to Carr's point,
they've said it. Eberflus and Poles have both been recorded saying what shows on the tape is who you are.
Exactly. Including himself.
Yes.
If you can't, that's the mic drop. That's why I played it for. It's Kevin, and every beat writer have to understand. It's my job to put the best guys with effort. All these motherfuckers are great talents. If they are playing to the level of their coached in technique, fundamentals, and expectation, then you'll get the most out of the lowest on the roster. There's always an underdog. There's always a blazing game. There's always somebody that has immense talent that might not be the best athlete, but they give, and they give. It's those rarities. That's why I was so hype about Khalil Mack, that have that much talent, that give everything they have to the game because they love it. And Robert Quinn is that same type of person. Every rush, he's bending and being held and diving. This stuff can't be taught. It has to be embedded in your soul. So when I look at this, I think they're signing guys that have something to prove. And you could beat anybody. This is the NFL. You could beat anybody on any given Sunday. So I don't get down with that. Rodgers is back. Those are 2 losses. No, fuck that. We're going to beat you with our practice squad. You have to make these kids, these animals, believe in themselves believe in your culture.
Look at Lucas Patrick, who is the most likely guy out of this to be your Akeem Hicks, right? He said, I'm coming here because I know that we're going to win the division, right? And he was an undrafted guy. He worked his way up. He did everything the right way. He gets accolades from Aaron Rodgers, which is mean, his own brother can't get those. It's a step in the right direction. And to your point, Phil, that's what they're looking for. That's the player that they want to build around.
It's exciting. We've never seen this. I'm telling you right now, accountability has been my biggest criticism, and everybody makes fun of our network until they forget. Go back and listen. Who's telling you this shit? Who's saying the team is a reflection of it? Ain't PFF. It ain't fucking the blog. We're not here to break news. We're here to break down film and truths on a football field and have some fun. And I'll shut up now on that rant. What's your next one? We're pushing to 1K. Head over to the tapeneverlies.com. When you get accountability to go become a patron, you become a family member. And that's the reality of what it is. Everybody here, I hold people accountable here. I hold them all. George, Caden, Ron G, Cars. I'm yelling at Cars. But at the end of the night, the shows, everything we do, we have a lot of fun. And I think guests leave here and be like, wow, that was awesome. And that's the goal. And you fans, every Wednesday night, there isn't. Remember, Claudio didn't believe. He's like, all right, Shayne and Phil, we'll see you next. What? What? We'll be on next week. We got to break down who's going to get cut. Who's our depth chart? What's our fucking mock draft in March? I got to tackle against Barely. I'm doing my mock Barelissimo against your mock. Whose mock is better? I'm going to do that. Me and Shayne and Cars will have a Cars will come back as GM again. See if he could predict it right again. All of this stuff, all you have to do is go to the tapeneverlies.com. Also, real quick, I'm sorry, Jackal. Those people that are asking, where's the podcast? I've gone a lot, so I'm tired of typing it and copy pasting it.
Speak it.
We are no longer putting our show via the podcast on iTunes and all that. It is only going to be a part of the Patreon audio. Every show that we do will be found on the Patreon channel. So if you're wanting to listen, it's right there. You just press it. You can also, Jim Larison's going to come on here and explain how you can add it to your podcast subscriptions when you're in Patreon. So it'll just show up for you every day. So, and I also announced I talked to my father about doing a football master's class with my dad, breaking down the finite details of things that some of us just talk about thinking everybody knows, but you don't know what a down block is or scoop and all of these other simple techniques. We're also offering that with my dad's whiteboard, Cars. My dad's whiteboard. Okay. I've said it all. Jackal, you got anything else?
You talked about the draft. You talked about receivers, right? And so there's a bullshit team that's in our conference that's got a couple, our division here, that's got a couple first round picks, right? And I've been reading they may go receiver in the first round, and they're talking maybe Williams and oh shit, the guy's name just eluded me. Help me out, Cars. The kid from Ohio State, Chris
Olave.
The Packers.
So say the Packers go with those two guys in the first round. Say those two guys are off the board. Who's the one guy that you would really like to see the Bears get their hands on with one of those second round picks?
The one receiver, you're saying?
Yeah. Because I think that one of those two second round picks will be a receiver.
Jameson is my guy. Yeah. I'm thinking because of his injury that maybe he'll, but again, let me play the game with you. Cars, do you want to go first?
Oh, yeah, because if you had asked me before the cheetah thing, I would have thought that Jameson would be there, but now he strikes me as a chief almost. Like I'm kind of putting that out there. Yeah. I'm in a Jalen Tolbert realm, and he's not a second round guy for me. He's our third round pick, but there's something about his size, his speed, kind of the ease in what he does things. there's something there. I know the other guy I really do like is Sky Moore. I think he's another kind of electric type of playmaker. I think those two make a lot of sense to me, and that you don't necessarily have to look at them in the second round, because I think the way it feels now is there's going to be a heavy run on wide receivers before pick 39.
Yeah.
That'll be the death of me, because I like a lot of what you're talking. My guy,
What about you?
My favorite guy as a receiver, obviously, is Jameis, Williams. But in this contest, I got to go with my guy from Arkansas, Burks.
Oh, yeah.
This guy loves the game of football. He's got a body that doesn't look like it's moving this way in that size. And he catches everything and outruns dudes at the way he looks. I mean, he looks like Marty Booker, but plays faster. I haven't seen that kind of football. There's something when I scout receivers that, again, I go back to what I was saying with Willett, the quarterback out of Liberty, Malik Willis. There's something to be said about guys that love the game of football. I know George is a big Pickens fan. I like Pickens, but for me, Burks is much better. Treylon Burks, 6'4", I believe he's like 220, 219. He's just filthy to me. Okay. And but I like Tolbert too. I am Skokes with Cars, but Burks, if I had
Burks, to your point though, Pickens scares me a little bit with some of the things that have gone on. Like there's a consistency there that I miss out of Pickens a little bit.
Right.
Like he's one
George
of those
loves him, thinks he's an alpha.
Because he will go make that ridiculous catch that you're like, how the hell did he go do that? And then you'll watch him kind of loaf through one or two. So he's one of those super high ceiling guys to like kind of a lowish floor type. And those at wide receiver terrify the shit out of me.
I get it. I really do. Alec Pierce.
Yes, that's another great name.
I love this guy.
Yep.
I know he's from the Chicagoland area, right?
Very good call. Proper way to say it. The right way, right?
The right side of the Chicagoland area. So we're working on getting Alec to come on Keepin It 100, to be transparent. I'm working on that. And a few other of these guys that we mentioned as well, but good stuff. Those are our guys there. Alec Pierce is in one of those places in my heart too, Bill. I wanted to say one quick thing. I didn't know if you were bringing it, but Jeff Burton, Cars #2 fan.
Yep.
It's like, I think Edwin Lopez is ordered 2 cars. Is it on your list? So
yeah.
Go ahead.
This was the last thing. So it was 2 things not Bears related. One is, where do you think Baker Mayfield is going to end up? Now that he has played out all his options and no team is really,
Someone said they might cut him, Cars. Is that even possible?
He's on a dead cap.
It's possible, because you can't like throw up this whatever happens, but you're really bitching and moaning that you don't feel loved, and then to go do Watson. I think he's going to end up in Seattle. That's my take.
That was my guess too.
I laughed because he's like, his preferred destination was Indy, and Indy ran as fast as they could to get Matt Ryan so that they wouldn't have to get Baker Mayfield.
They paid $7 million to get on the plane.
Yeah.
So
I think Seattle makes the most amount of sense, and it works because you need to give him a heavy run game and protect him. So I think, if you're telling me Drew Lock or Baker Mayfield, the third option should be death, but I think Seattle makes the most sense.
That comment was up there. If there wasn't Trubisky there, that would be the place I think he would go, and it would all about revenge and going to Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? He's that type of character. this guy, I don't know, not to go on a tangent, but this dude has Hulu commercials, endorsements, and I'm like, who is this? Like, he's average. Average.
Like Cousins,
good agent,
doing millions of commercials, and you're like, what? Like,
exactly.
Did everybody else say no? What's going on here?
Exactly. And the last thing, we'll move on from that.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I agree with Bucky Brooks, I believe. That showcase of how they responded to this young player falling down. I don't even want to play it tonight. I chose not to play it because I don't want.
I just grabbed the ball and.
How do you not, as a person, a human being, go over, kneel down, and see if he's okay? Like everything in my now, I don't know who's there. I don't. The optics of that is.
It's a bad look for football.
It's terrible.
It's a really bad look for football, or the people running it.
We need to do better than that. That was disgraceful, to be honest. And there's nothing more I could say. I'm totally disappointed, and I hate when you're 100% right. I hate when my sport lets us down in that, because it's the greatest game in the world, and then you just drop the ball there. And I get the politics of Claudio and Sheri going at it last week with Roethlisberger and Watson. That stuff I'm all there for. You could stand on either side, but there's nowhere else to stand but in shame. It's a shame of how that looked, and I'll just leave it at that. With that said, that's it.
Yeah, man, I was wrapping it up there. We
did a great job.
A bunch of boxes tonight. A lot of good Bear talk tonight, especially
a lot of good. And that's. I was gonna say, and I'm sorry I cut you off. You did a lot of shit tonight. You fucking secured the guest.
Hey.
Jackle now
40. I want someone to grab that clip. That. All right.
Sheri. Caden, somebody. Jackal he'll probably grab his own.
Already grabbed it. Yeah,
Yeah, he's talking about me. Let me grab that clip.
Hey, that's the wrong family member you're talking about, man.
I'm just joking.
He's going to be going to sleep with that as his relaxing white noise. Jackal, you did a great job today.
You did a great job.
You did a great job today.
Jackal's on a roll. He's got secured 5 guests. He's
doing some stuff.
He's told me he's taken over the Lord of Guest Getting. How about that? Guest Getting.
Or at least he might have something to say about
I'm just letting other people in the competition know Jackal is in it to win it.
I can only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but only imagine the smells coming out of that thing, but
Jackal better do some shit.
He did some shit. Cool, Kennedy.
TTNL Fight Club has officially opened for business. Fuck yourself.
Cars is getting in it.
We're throwing elbows now. Let's go.
Cars, who are you talking about?
Fuck yourself.
I didn't do anything. I'm just kidding.
Such a dick. I am such a dick. I'm so sorry.
Listen, we've done it all tonight, but we have not done the guys that are paying the late night bills. Have we done the late night?
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
What? Yes.
Sheri's moment to shine.
Hold on. The chat room is getting quiet.
This invention here is called the Cobb Quickie.
Again, gentlemen, please save all marriage proposals until the end of the read. Again, all marriage proposals cannot come, and they're null and void if they come in the middle of the read.
In the middle. Oh, we didn't show Kevin his cartoon. We'll have to send that to him. Sorry. Totally forgot. There's Lord Cars has spoken.
I gotta get
Lord
the wig.
Hans.
I gotta get the powdered wig, and that's gotta come.
Anyway, Manscaped right here, Sheri. You ready, Sheri?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Mookie's ready.
Oh, she was supposed to say, yes, I'm ready. Come on, Sheri. You're supposed to.
Dim the light.
Oh, you hear the music.
I was waiting on the music.
Cars is put it in. You know, we have this thing at TTNL. It's like a box, and you put in your suggestions.
You're not doing it without me.
There he is. The internet.
Eddie froze at the appropriate time. That was perfect.
Jesus.
Shayne must have been pulling his hair out. His short hair.
Let go.
Speaking of the read.
Am I clear? No? Yes?
Yeah,
Yes, you're good.
A little echo, but
Change
you're
your
better. I didn't know if that was your echo
I don't think so.
or Sheri wanted some reverb on her mic.
It's all about the
But Cars has put in the suggestion box Pillow Talk with Sheri, a new show. We're just looking for a guest host.
Cars.
I did
Will
not want to sit
Mookie
here
Hill.
and not.
It is. I have audio of it.
Oh, that's right. I did. That's right. Never mind. I did.
Thank you.
Yep. Last week on the show, you were sitting right there, Sheri.
Oh my God.
That's how I said it.
Shayne is back.
He's back.
So to show you how soundproof this room is, we're getting this like catastrophic, crazy fucking storm. I had no clue.
Yeah, you're just in a shelter, man, a bomb shelter.
Yeah. It was funny. I'm doing all this shit. I was on the phone with the internet company.
Were you calm?
For most of it. But then shit started to come back normal, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So I went on YouTube. Oh, see, it's like it's crapping out again. I'm getting that thing on my end. Yeah.
Someone's getting some rings out. Ray.
Null and void, Ray. Null and void. Wait until the end of the read. I cannot make this any clearer, people.
The rules, guys.
Sheri is like, honestly, let me just say this real quick.
Sliding off the chair.
I've met Sheri in person twice. Energetically, when you're around certain people, I won't say any names, but they give off an energy that's standoffish, or you don't know. Sheri is like, Sheri is one of the classy and coolest individuals you'll ever be around. I'm dead serious. Like,
absolutely.
It's like a comfort. You want that person around. Barbecue. You want them there at a comedy club. You want them around you at the game, at the tailgate. So, Sheri, I truly appreciate in life to have people like you surround. And my father, I always say, surround your...
Now I'm back.
Internet may not work, but he can still hit
that
drop.
Was the full thing too. The full one too. Like that is
We
commitment.
went all in. Shayne came back like a thunderstorm.
Thunderbirds.
I was upstairs and I'm like, man, I could get some fucking sleep tonight. My Cars is probably so fucking jealous. He's on the show, and I can go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, I nearly was gonna try to be like, and then just run upstairs, but
Cars, great job tonight by the whole TTNL family. We got a new ender that I produced tonight, but tonight
we need this
Pillow
read
Talk with Sheri. Are you ready? I got my new package in the mail today, actually.
That is the timing of you saying I got my new package while giant goat balls are on screen.
Should be a
Fantastic.
clip. Hopefully they do their job this week. I don't know.
What'd you think
Jackle
of the
might
lip
do something.
balm?
Lip balm. I didn't use it, but I
Cars,
did try the deodorant.
We tried to get you guys on the list, and Steven Johnson said, fuck that.
Damn it, Steven.
Steven was trying to imitate me. It was like, what? I go, can you get Jackal on the list?
Nope.
Can you get Cars on the list? Nope, didn't happen. Go ahead, Sheri.
You ready?
Oh, we're ready.
Everybody's ready.
Never been more
Will
ready for
Mookie
anything.
Hill
Like,
might be the most.
Oh my gosh. Today I'm excited to announce their brand new Ultra Premium collection. I'm excited too, Sheri. Believe it or not, they're moving above the bikini line. I'm talking about upgrading the man in your life's hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. This is an all-in-one skin and hair kit for the everyday man that covers him from head to toe, literally. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust him with the rest. Help him join the 4 million men worldwide who look great and smell great thanks to Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code CHICITYSPORTS. We all know what a game-changing Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 has been for trimming below the waist. Now you can enhance his perfect grooming routine with the Ultra Premium collection. The package includes Manscaped's premium deodorant, not for his balls. Say goodbye to his smelly armpit hug. This deodorant dries clear, is aluminum-free, and smells like their signature scent.
Stinky.
They also have the hydrating body moisturizer, which is great for tattoos and issues with dry skin. It's designed to keep skin feeling clean, smooth, and smelling fresh. The body wash to lather them up with their infused aloe vera and sea salt shower gel. The 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, a nourishing and luxurious 2-in-1 far above the rest, infused with sea kelp and coconut water. Plus, a free gift. The 3-pack set of lip balms, which apparently Shayne has used.
Cocoa my nuts.
That's made with ingredients like vitamin E, peppermint, and eucalyptus oil to keep those lips feeling moist. A lip balm so good you're guaranteed to steal 1 or 2 from his set. That's 4 products plus the free gift inside the Ultra Premium collection. All of these products are cruelty-free, paraben-free, vegan-friendly, and dye-free. The best ingredients with zero compromise. I recommend using the products in this order. 1, hop in the shower, scrub it up that body with the Manscaped body wash. 2, lather his luscious locks with 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. 3, dry off and spray on a hydrating body moisturizer to reinvigorate the skin. 4, put on the Manscaped deodorant for obvious reasons. And 5, pop that Manscaped lip balm on. No more kissing chapped lips. Getting dressed is optional. 1 great scent all day long. So you get 20% off plus free shipping with the code CHICITYSPORTS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code CHICITYSPORTS at manscaped.com. The only smell you'll want on him in a bottle, thanks to Manscaped.
Look at you, Manscaped. Stay
moist. Done. Did it.
Okay, now you can come with the marriage proposals. Thank you, everyone, for waiting.
Manscaped.com. Code CHICITYSPORTS. 20% off in all seriousness. We love Manscaped here. Every one of us have it except Jackal, Cars, and Sheri. But they need to get it.
You guys share, though, right?
No. They come in 2 boxes.
No, they shave each other. That's the way that it works. Because it's hard to get to those places by yourself. You need a buddy to get in there.
Oh yeah, we forgot to ask Kevin some of our questions, like Tupac or Biggie, PlayStation.
How did he do with the station ID?
He did the read
1 take.
Perfectly.
One take.
Nice. Hopefully Caden or Sheri or Jackal will cut it for next week's show.
Claudio will cut it out.
Claudio hasn't cut it out in a long time. Let us know your thoughts on Sheri's read.
And Ryan Ferris.
Whatever's caught in
Shayne is
that nail.
freezing up again.
Oh,
I've
boy.
had those nights. I remember those days.
Oh, he's stuck. Oh, there he is.
Real quick. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop off. You guys have it.
Well,
Here's my shout out.
Go ahead.
It's going all over the place. Sorry for the bullshit internet, but it's a storm. So love you guys, and I will be back. Draft mob. Maybe I'll make an appearance on X's with the O's. Who knows?
Do it.
Maybe.
Do it.
All right.
Well done. Well,
That's how you get. I gotta get him back.
That was well done.
See how you guys are.
Don't worry, Shayne. It's out of your control. You didn't hire
Big
this.
plays are nice.
We let him go.
I know. All right, I'm out of here, guys.
Later, bud.
Shayne, don't worry. He was in a storm.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Phil, we're supposed to be getting some of that weather too, Phil, our way.
Oh, well,
I'm
thank
getting it
God I
now.
won't be on the air.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, it's storming and thundering and all this. So that's why I keep looking over.
Okay.
Poor Shayne had
Gotta get a Thunder Buddy over there.
internet.
Mookie, what are you doing?
Nope. Jackal, don't do that to her.
I'm just thunder. Sorry, now that song's gonna be stuck in my head for me.
Ryan and Matt are men of character. They are both, like Ted, outstanding leaders.
I got it right on beat, guys. I was trying to. Was it on beat for you guys?
Yes, it was.
Let's see one more time if I could do it. 1, 2.
Ryan and Matt are men of...
I was off. He had
Yeah,
that
like
pause
Claudio in
there.
the post.
It was. Hey, you might be onto something. Listen, great.
I agree.
We're gonna make this
Great
happen.
cuddling weather. Claudio, what do you think of that? Yo, listen, amazing show tonight. Unfortunately, in all honesty, there's nothing worse just being transparent than on StreamYard when your internet doesn't work. It's like out of your control, frustrating because we work hard to put on a great show and there's never a script and you're playing off. So I know Shayne is probably so fired up, but he has nothing to worry about. This stuff happens. Fans, I think, will understand that aren't little dick boys. You want to be a dick boy, blog boy. Cars has something to say.
Oh, fuck yourself.
Golly, what the hell is going on?
I stand by that. I absolutely
help
stand
Prodigy.
That being said, I want to shout out Sheri. Great. That was her best read so far. Can I get a vote?
Oh yeah.
Oh
right?
Yeah. People thought you memorized it.
Two people were like, wait, what the fuck? She memorized it?
Yeah.
No, I know you're practicing. Don't tell me. Don't give it away.
There's hope, guys.
I want to get this guy some hope. Speaking of which, it's that time of the show. Tweets are going to come back like Shayne's internet.
Sporadic. Oh, wait.
Sporadic.
Sorry.
No, he's bringing them. He was going to bring them back tonight, but now, obviously, long show, great show. Special thanks to Kevin Fishbain. We'll shout him out. But Sheri, great read. Jackal, great stuff. But it's time for shout out.
Shout out Tape Never Lies. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby.
baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. From the fans in the stands to the follows on the gram. Thanks for your support, showing love in the DM. We stay Spencer strong, fight together till the end. Now it's time to shout out worldwide friends and fam. Like
the network that keeps it real, 100 crew. So many in the world that I gotta show love to. For some this part, signal show is at its end. But for me it's so important to thank the charter members and the fans. Built the network, speak the truth through the tape. Never run around the truth, no narratives we create. Set them straight, no bubble screen on 4th and 8. Audio Shayne getting nervous cause keeping them up too late. That's it, no more to say to get the shot of vital. But hurry up cause the postman's getting homicidal. Shout out, strong.
I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too. Shout out. I know you hear me, baby. Shout out. I know you see me, baby. Shout out. We gotta holla at you. Keep it 100 crew. Gotta show love too.
The network that keeps it real. Spencer Strong.
She agrees with the decisions that we've made. She's pissed off.
Fuck out of here, Ted.
We had to play that classic Shayne because there wasn't enough Shayne tonight, but he will be back, right, David? Yes, David wants him back too. Subscribe to Tape Never Lies. The push to 1,000 is real. The Tape Never Lies. Sheri made someone subscribe today. Miss Boss. Miss Boss. Sheri was Miss Block. Remember, she blocked everybody. Get over there.
Thank God she got Logan. I mean, I was so thankful when she intentionally blocked Logan. It was such a big moment.
Block. Also, TTNLswag.com to get some swag out there. We're putting up new stuff. Shout out to DJ Stunna, aka Alex Acevedo, and my guy Corey Kennedy. He was supposed to come on tonight. We were going to introduce him. We're going to do it next week. I saw your DM, Corey. We're going to get you on the show to introduce one of our new graphics guy who's doing this stuff like that. Corey Kennedy. Cars, you printed this out according to sources, right?
It is my Twitter profile picture. Absolutely.
Oh my, Corey.
Best.
Corey, look at that. You've made it to Cars Twitter.
And do not be shocked when I show up one week with a wig on. Like that.
I said to Shayne, if it doesn't happen, I quit. It has to happen.
Oh, then it's not going to happen.
Come on.
Oh, come on. Like I wasn't going to go there. Let's go.
You hurt my feeling.
Oh.
I think I might take TTNL, unfollow them, unfollow everybody. I'm quitting.
What do you think? You're Netflix, Phil? Come on now.
Bastards.
Listen, this is our hype song.
Okay.
This is what they give us. Into Space, this is called.
This is the free music.
I feel like this is going to be on some Disney princess movie that my daughters are going to make me watch 47 times.
We need
I'm guessing you've seen Turning Red.
Oh, yeah. Before for periods? Yeah, that was disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah, you thought that was an interesting take, huh?
My wife literally looked at me 5 minutes in and she's like, I think they're talking about periods. And that's all I could focus on for the rest. And I'm now terrified of that girl's mother. That's a whole nother story. We'll break that down on Sheri. But that, yeah.
We're training now. We're training.
Cheaper by the dozen cars. You guys watch that in your house either?
What's that one?
Cheaper by the dozen?
No.
All right. That's a new make. Zach Graff and
that was
Gabrielle
Steve
Union.
Martin.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
They remade it. Yeah. They just remade
really?
it.
Is it good, Jackal?
My kids love it. So that's all I'll say.
I'm gonna check it out. I did remember that movie.
It's got some. It covers a lot of like current issues with especially with families with
We don't have our shout out music, guys, tonight because Shayne isn't here to help that. His internet down, and he's not on the show. And Cars is like
gonna beatbox it. Ready?
Cars is like, play my fucking music.
Roselle, get it going.
I wish we could play that during the shout out tonight, though. The background. Anyway, let's go. Sheri,
ladies
who
first.
did an amazing job with the read. Ladies first. Ladies first. Ladies first. Ladies first. What do you got, Sheri? What do you got?
Of course, I'll shout out Shayne first since he's not here. Being a smart ass, we do miss him. So I miss him.
You were hoping Phil's internet went out.
No.
Patty. Here we go. Back to shout outs.
Damn,
somehow we always end up off track. I don't know how this happened.
Is here for the juice.
Mookie is here for the juice. I love that. Miss Boss is feeling it. That at the top of the hour. Every hour. We should make that like some producer who needs to do shit. I don't care what we're talking about. Top of the hour.
Not me.
Boom.
So even when Kevin Fishbain was on,
yes.
Boom.
Then you get the most.
He'd be like, yeah. He would have fell over.
Hey, my internet's going out too. What do you yeah. I don't know what's going on. It's all weird. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh man. TTNL. Shayne putting that into the universe makes me miss him because he initially, do you remember the backstory of that, Sheri? We pretended that was Greg Bragg singing when we were on audio only, and everyone was like, holy shit, that song is so catchy.
The beat is catchy.
That's how you could fool everybody. But my favorite part is we never do it, just clip. Work that ass for daddy. I just want to drop that. Anyway, let's go. Sheri, who do you got? I know you want to shout out Will.
Yes, I do want to shout out Will. But
with the restraining order.
That's it?
with the restraining order. I heard you. That's very well.
Not for all the reasons he's putting in the chat. I know he's going through a very tough time. So shout out to him. And, we are friends. So as much as crazy as Will is, we're actually friends. So
all right.
He knows that, if he needs anything, he can call me. But
friends for the juice, yeah.
He said it.
Oh my gosh.
Freshly squeezed.
Keeping you in my prayers, Will. So shout out to you. Shout out to Logan. He's been just randomly checking in on me. So I do appreciate, that people do still check on me. And of course, shout out to you guys because I always have fun, no matter how crazy y'all are with all your whispers and comments. And I still love hanging out with you guys every Wednesday night. So shout out to all of y'all. And anybody else that's going through anything and dealing with anything, shout out, sending positive vibes. So.
Perfectly said. Well said. Let me say it in a whisper. That was really well done.
Balls.
Christopher Jackle doing shit, aka DDS. What's up? Who do you got to shout out tonight?
Keep it simple. First off, shouting everybody out here. Like Sheri said, everybody's got something going on, and positivity is probably what we should be sending out to everybody. So I'm gonna keep it there, and then just shouting out fam here back at home. A lot of moving parts still, but we got some good stuff going on over here. And yeah, man, shouting out Shayne, miss this guy, and sending love his way to him and his family as well. So those are my shout outs this evening.
Well said, bro. Well said. Here at the 12:10 mark in the show. We try, there's never a script, and Cars hates that because he would love to get out of here. But great job. He does have a book he can read, Cars. Look at that.
It's got a lot of pictures in it.
It's a pop out.
So there's words. You know, I'm afraid, you know.
Oh boy.
Okay. Cars.
So first and foremost, my daughter Aubrey got in trouble in school, but I'm proud of her because she was sticking up for a kid who was getting picked on by some older fourth graders. So I am absolutely thrilled. Aubrey is my most shy and reserved one, and all of a sudden she's found a little bit of a spine that needs to go away when she enters the door, and she can pick it up on the way back to school. But so Aubrey, very proud there. And to my wife, so I've started a new job, and so it has put a lot more stress on my wife. So thank you to Miss Steph for basically allowing me to be a complete fool more often than normal. So those are my two big.
Congratulations on the job, man.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Great news.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And doubly shout. I just go back to your daughter getting in trouble, going back to accountability, but she's doing the right thing. So you're raising her right. So it's kind of that you got to reprimand, but behind you're like,
oh, I did no such thing. I was like, you could listen, there are things you'll get in trouble for all day, every day. That not in our house. So that's
good for you.
No, that again, that's my shy one. Like my youngest looks innocent, but Maisie will cut you in a flash if she needs to. Aubrey's always been my like reserved, nice one, and all of a sudden she's like, "You're not messing with him. I've got this." And I was like, "Go, absolutely go."
Beautiful, unbelievable. Kids, I mean, that's what life is all about, and the reality, you're raising your kids right. Finally got to meet you. I've known you for a long time, and I joke around with you, but the integrity and the empathy that you carry yourself with just speaks volumes to the guy that you are, the father that you are, and you're always family first. So I love that, man. I'm super excited for you in your new chapter. That's from the bottom of my heart.
It's fun.
Now,
This is always
Shayne was here. He would drop he doesn't give a fuck. We'd all laugh, but I do.
Royalty. Her dad's a fucking lord, so she.
I mean,
fucking.
Listen, real.
Well done.
Real. Life is real, and what Cars is saying there is awesome. So
absolutely,
real quick. Yes, real quick. Where is that dad drop? Where is it? I was looking. Phil,
could you hear me? This is your dad speaking.
I'm shouting out this guy, my dad, 81 years old. I shared it on Facebook. Sometimes I don't know. I'm not trying to get attention. I just was in the moment. So to be with Shayne and Cars and kind of start this network and then bring your father on, you're kind of vulnerable because you get these fucking assholes out there, take a shot. But the fans have like embraced my father, and I'm just being honest. That patron show, I'll be able to keep for the rest of my life to give my sons. But it was one of those moments where I think you have to become a patron to see what I'm talking about. It was just, he was my coach again, drawing up on the board, and he was in a zone. And it was just so fun to interact with it. And his innocence of saying, I hope they liked it at the end. I was like, are you kidding? I loved it. It was like amazing. And everyone was talking. You could see the chat. And I'm just super proud of the network and Shayne and my wife, Steph, for saying, you really should bring your dad on. And that kind of was the launching pad to doing something, listening to Jim Larison, Rick Ruggs, Bullets, saying, I need more of your dad, just breaking down simple stuff that we don't know. So that kind of stuff is what this network is about. You fans do matter. And I wanted to shout out my dad, who has been in my corner, and my wife, Steph's corner, for all of this. Sorry to pontificate there, but it is.
Hey, our parent, like, especially as they've gotten to the age now where they're grandparents, right?
Exactly.
And you see everything they let our kids get away with that they never would have in their dreams let us get away with. It's a fun change in that relationship at this point, right? Like,
oh my God, we're like friends.
Yes,
it's amazing. That's exactly it. He's like, so what are we breaking down today? Like, what do you need me to do? I'll do whatever. You sure the whiteboard? I'm like, Dad, the fans love the whiteboard.
Yeah,
it's your teaching device, and it really is a throwback, but it also is a future. So it's a lot of fun, and I just thanks for giving me the platform to include my dad in that and shout him out here. I also want to double back on Will Mookie Hill. As much fun as we have here, Will has always been in my corner. I can say this without any kind of regret. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I make mistakes. I own them, though. I'll stand in front of everyone and come from my heart and say, I'm sorry, I fucked up. If I hurt your feelings, if I did something stupid. But Will has always been that kind of person, too. Will Mookie Hill, who loves Sheri, but he's lost his mom. And here I am talking about my dad, and someone's lost their mom. And I haven't lost a parent. So I don't know what that's going to be, but I love Will. Like he's saying there, whether he's joking or not, I think it's real. And I've had the pleasure of meeting that dude. To lose a parent, and if any of you, lose a parent, I would send the same kind of energy to you. I'm glad I saw his comment earlier that tonight he needed these laughs and to have a fun. And there's been so many of you that reach out. You never bother me. The only time it's funny to me is when you've given me news that I knew about at 9 in the morning, at 9 at night. Like I'm following the Bears very closely because Shayne, Jackle, Claudio, Cars, in all essence, getting back to God bless you, Will. Seriously. I'm glad you're a part of this network. You've always championed what we do here, and you deserve that. I also want to take some time out. Corey Kennedy, who I thought was going to come on the show, has worked so hard at making some of these graphics, trying to get some stuff, really cool shit for you guys, for t-shirts, and everybody that has gone out there and supported this network, that has told somebody. There's so many of you to name. I thank you. I also want to shout out my friend Adam Rank. I know what he's doing over there. There's plenty of room for good content. He's a brother, and hopefully we'll have some great stuff to continue with Adam Rank and what have you. I want to shout out Chris Zorich, Eric Kramer, all of these, Chris Jackle, Sheri, everybody on the Ron G, checking in on me, Berlissimo, all of you guys checking in on me and checking in on the family here as we go through one of the most turmoil things in family, selling a house. It's going to be hard for me to leave this studio that Chris Jackle built. And it sounds funny, but Jackle literally came here, framed up this thing, and when we find the house, this will be a sad day to leave the house, the memories and the things that you built. as well as this studio, and because of you, Jackal. So I always give you a hard time, but you're a true friend. I'm sorry to keep Cars up so late, but I meant what I said about you, Cars. Listen, this world's a crazy place. We had a great show. Shout out to Kevin Fishbain for jumping on with us. Awesome. Please subscribe. We'll be back. Draft Mob, doing my mock draft to compete with Shayne and Barlissimo. Got to get Cars to do his. Draft season's right around the corner. What free agents, X's and O's will be on Sunday, and we'll be breaking down Equanimous, St. Brown, Pringle, and the defensive end, Muhammad.
Big hope for Pringle. Big hope for Pringle.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That being said, for everybody here tonight and everybody, Caden Whitlow for doing the open and new graphics and everything. I don't want to forget anybody on the network. Jeremy Plashinsky for all your help. Ron G is the man. Honestly, Ron G has been in my corner as I'm struggling with the house and shit. Always been there. I think I've covered everyone. Did I forget anybody? Proud patron 667. Shout out you. And all of you patrons that have gone out of your way to support our network and everything we do here. This ending, this new ender is for you. I tried to capture the essence of TTNL in its totality, not just keeping it 100. So tonight we're going to go out with a little look back at what TTNL is, what it's going to be, and all of you patrons and fans and TTNL heads, hopefully you enjoy this. We'll see you next week with Dan Wiederer, right?
Hoping so. He's going to be at the meetings next week. He's talking about internet. We're going to follow up, and if we'll work it out. But yeah, we got some people. We got irons in the fire all over the place. We got guests up the wazoo.
That
George,
sounds
where
professional. When you say we got irons in the fire,
in the fire,
you're sounding like a pro right now, Jackal.
We got the official emails now. We're doing it right over here.
I don't.
Here,
I can't hit. Flag has gone out. Alex Acevedo, I shout you out, doing a great job this week. Finally stepping up, DJ Stunner.
Yeah, he is such a stunner of a human being. I mean, he really is.
We are gonna have a stunner segment coming up this fall. We got to work on it.
Does it come with the glow sticks? That's really the most important part.
That would be phenomenal. He's got to have a strobe light.
Oh, yeah. A fog machine. Absolutely.
A fog machine.
Absolutely.
He comes out like this. Does he have a bandana or no bandana? Put your vote.
Oh, if he's not doing a bandana, I'm out. Like, this is, it's got to have all of it. Don't shake your head at me, Missy. Do not shake your head at me. Respect your elders.
Respect. Right. I tried to get everybody in this. If I forgot someone I'm sorry. But every TTNL personality is next.
There's hope. I hope that there's hope. 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Stability isn't availability. It's accountability. You fucking nerd fucks.
It's all good. Forget about it.
He wrote an entire article on how David Montgomery actually hurts the Bears offense.
What?
Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
What world are we in?
What are they seeing? I mean,
you want me to take a dump in a box and mark it guaranteed? I will.
Then let me do what I hired to do.
We gotta do what we gotta do. Okay.
Oh, this is the back was in this defense, and you were in blitz defense. And he won't go. He'll be a late goal because he's watching that guy.
Right.
You got to cover him.
Got to cover him. That's the hot read. Balls.
Favorite manly set. I was in the streets in high school.
The only way people knew that I had actually gone through puberty by listening to my voice is hair either had to be here or here, and that was it.
That side view, the presentation view, man, it's not the same when you get to analyze what's going on and what are the problems. Like, as soon as you had that back view, I was like, wow.
There's the center. not doing a good enough job.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll call our show TTNL in the stands.
He inherited Dick.
Listen, my favorite podcast outside of the Football Guys Network is the Tape Never Lies Network.
Never take cough syrup and mix it up with iodine and lye.
Give me one of these real quick.
Yeah.
There it is. I think we do Sheri.
Yeah, I don't.
I fucking love it. I love it.
We never got the whys.
Give me the fucking name.
The tape never lies.
Thanks for watching the best Chicago Bears show on the planet. Keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network.
We'll see you next week. I hope you enjoy.